be free. I take the weight on my shoulders. I feel the sky come down on me, and I can't hold it much longer. Gotta let go so I can be free.
FT Live, happy Monday, coming off a big WBC weekend too. Do you like the new title animation?
I do. I'm trying to figure out what Kratz's little dance move was with Frazier. It was like a hip thrust. I can't do it because I'm sitting down. But what was that, Kratzy?
We were talking about digging into the box and how you got to be in there, and nobody wants to be in there against certain guys. It's not my best look. I should have worn a tighter shirt.
But it plays well to the music.
Yeah.
It seems like he's dancing a little bit. Now we got Jonesy getting after it in the open animation too, right? We got real footage. Did you like it?
It could be.
That's enough.
I mean, I like it, but it
What do you
just
want?
seemed like this. I mean, that it could be subjective.
What do you want? And we'll place it there for you.
You
You want like one where you're like,
I like it. I'm just saying it could be subjective. Some people, but we're in foul territory, so who cares?
exactly. Who cares is right. We care about last night and Team USA falling to Team Mexico. We're going to be all over that. Guest list today. Freddie Peralta of the Milwaukee Brewers is joining us. I think he's going to have a big year. He wanted to pitch in the WBC, but he had some injuries last year, so they didn't let him. We'll ask him about that. Actually, his agency is Rep 1, our first agent rep of the year coming on. COO of the agency, Chris Corris. Rowdy Tellez from Team Mexico joining us. He knocked in a couple runs late, and also Bat Boys Baseball is going to join us for that interview. Tell everyone what to do to get involved if they're listening on Apple. Go to YouTube.
Subscribe, first of all.
Subscribe.
It's free.
It's free. Free
So
99
subscribe.
subscribe.
Pop up.
Yes.
Just hit the little button. All you got to do is there's a little button. You hit it, and you don't have to pay.
No.
So just hit the little button, please.
How was the weekend for everyone? Jonesy, let's start with you since you're in the cooler place. We're in America. Jonesy's in Europe, so he usually has a better story. How's it going out there?
Good. My son just turned 9, so he had a birthday weekend. Had a friend sleep over, and then I personally took 5 kids under 10 to a basketball game, FC Barcelona basketball game, and we had 2 floor seats and 2 seats on the second row. It's kind of weird how they do it here, but it was like $800. So for a floor seat, no matter. We got to know some people out here to play basketball, so it's good to support them, and it's good for them kids to see professional basketball, see professional sports. My kid loves basketball, so that was our weekend, and there was not too much crying, bickering, fighting. So I think that was a success.
Yeah, you made it. You're here. So are you, Kratzy. You look good.
Exactly.
Do I?
Yeah. You look like you got some rest this weekend. And you got another jumper on. You got a Team USA this time. What, do you like to wear the losing team during a Monday?
I wore the Japan jersey the other day. And
Yeah,
they won,
true.
So.
Yeah, but they won.
Right. Why are you wearing Team USA after an embarrassing loss?
Because the boys need some people behind them. I mean, there's a lot of people that are going to be negative about them, and they need boys behind them. Look, a loss is a loss, man. Relax.
100%.
Yeah, but 2
100%.
losses means you're out of the tournament. That's the problem.
Here's the difference. You ain't got 162 games here. You got 4 games. You lose again. Canada today. Maybe Colombia. You got to
That's okay.
get into it. I know, but I'm just saying.
Is it okay though if they lose 2 games?
No.
They're done.
Are out.
They're done.
Yeah, most likely.
They're about.
Then I won't wear the USA jersey if they lose 2 games. But I'm trying to rally the boys. Get some. I know Jonesy probably threw away all his USA stuff, but
no, I got all of it.
I keep all mine.
I got all of it. I got all I gave like the shirts and like the undershirts and stuff like that, but the jerseys, the pants, I kept that just in case one day I just might want to put it back on.
Might want to wear some baseball pants to a basketball game.
Exactly.
Or just maybe turn them into some baseball pants shorts like the old father back in the day. Yeah, show the thighs.
No, the college kids now wear like those short pants.
Yeah, look like Napoleon.
They have they're like football pants. They come above the knee now with the tights underneath.
Hunter Pence pants.
Go over the knee. If you're gonna go high, but go over the knee. You're looking like Napoleon going above it.
So
I never like that.
So here's something you guys don't know. So on Saturday, Scott was over at my house, shockingly, And
Yeah, it looks amazing here,
him
by
and
the
Emma,
way.
his
Thank you,
girlfriend,
Emma.
and their dog Penelope came over to work, right? So I'm like, hey, why don't we go out on the boat? Scott, scared to death of alligators, will not get out of the boat, will not get in the water.
Nobody
Scared
went in
to
the
death.
water. Nobody went in the water.
You would not. Well, yeah, you want to get in the water? Oh, there's alligators in this water. I ain't messing with
Okay,
them.
if 2 or 3 of you had jumped in, I might have joined. But
Might have joined. See?
so I have to go first
Well, no, but
in
like,
a lake full
well,
of
first of all, I
alligators.
wasn't in
the
my
Jersey guy.
swimming pool pants.
I
so-
wasn't either. I was in my working pants. I was doing construction in here. Do you want to swim in a lake with alligators? Either of you, raise your hand. Would you want to swim in a lake with alligators besides AJ? Am I off here? Help me out.
Want to, but like, come on, like, you're not. You'll be fine.
This right here tells you no.
Exactly.
You don't have
Scott
a
can't
waterproof
swim
watch?
either. By the way, Scott can't swim.
I'm not from here.
He can't
It's
swim.
freezing.
No.
anymore.
We gotta address.
Where you from,
that.
Scott?
You can't swim.
No, I mean I can swim. I'm not like Michael Phelps out there, but I can
We could put a life coat on
float
you.
around.
You can float
I'm not
around.
like drop me in the water and I just sink.
Oh man.
I can move around. It's just not great form. It's not my thing. I never really swam. We don't do that up north.
We don't swim.
It's cold.
No, it's not cold here. You better get used to it. You went to
Did
Miami.
a lot
didn't
of
you, Jason?
swimming.
No, I didn't swim in Miami.
Oh, well, okay.
Miami's all show. Nobody actually goes in the water.
That is a good point. That's a good point.
Hey, I have a lot of WBC to get into game-wise. One thing before that, though, Jonesy, we were kicking this around before we started. A lot of people have asked me this. What's the pay system for the World Baseball Classic? I know guys get cash, and I think you get it based on how well you do. Do you remember what that was like? And we'll probably ask Rowdy Tellez, too.
I believe it wasn't much. It was, in terms of what we did. I think you get paid more if you go over into the Asia trip after the season. But I think it was like 13 grand the first time and maybe 25 grand the second time, if I'm guessing. I think it was more pride. Everybody wanted to do the pride factor over anything. So it wasn't really
Dude.
about getting paid.
Yeah, dude, come on, pay the guys, pay the man.
Yeah.
Hey,
Is the tournament not making money?
Oh,
Well, there's 50,000 in every game. How can it not be
So
making
what
money?
am I missing here? Why aren't
MLB
guys
ain't gonna
getting
do
rich
nothing
off
if they ain't making money.
it?
True.
My
Hey,
thing is, if you win, you should be getting paid for that.
Yeah. That's
Like
yeah,
paid.
That's above
Jonesy
my
got,
pay.
you know, what he
That's
got
above my
paid
pay
in
grade.
memories. Jonesy
Yeah.
got paid in memories.
I got a gold medal that just says, "Oh man, you played hard, son."
Hey, don't forget though, Jonesy can't quite go into it because he works for the MLB. So
True.
So he can't totally wipe his
Yeah, but
feet
that's
on
not
this.
his job, Kratzy. His job's not to
Yeah.
hand out money for the WBC. He's not
Maybe
allowed
that
to
could
talk
be his
about
new
this.
job.
Yeah.
USA Baseball and MLB, obviously they have a great relationship, so I need to delve into that. See what I can dig up.
The Asian tour. I went on the Asian tour in 2014.
They pay.
You get some cash.
Were you in KC in 14, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't want to go because you guys swept us, so I was like real pissed. I'm like, man, screw that. I ain't trying to go. I don't want to play no more baseball. Go
That was
on
fun.
vacation.
Thanks for not.
You
Yeah.
young guys are funny.
Fowler went.
Hey, you
I
guys are
loved it.
young guys are funny because I went in 2002. So
Was
I was
You
a
look good,
senior in
though.
high school.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I went in 2002. Our team was sick though. We had a good team.
Did you get paid?
Oh, dude, they hand you a stack of yen that's like this tall.
it's so
Literally, when you
thick.
check into your hotel in your room, there's a stack of like yen that was like this tall.
That is
And I was
took
like,
my
this
dad.
is stupid.
I
Should've
took my
taken a
dad
picture.
and he got yen.
It's 2002, dude. There was no Twitter and Instagram. Didn't have nothing. He barely had a cell phone. You know, okay. So y'all think y'all joking, but this is funny. So nobody wanted to pay to call home because we were over there for like 17 days. Nobody wanted to pay. So McDonald's across the street from our hotel they called it the McBeebe phone. And you got 2 minutes free to call anywhere in the world. So we go over there every morning and we call home. And everybody was lined up once we found out. So we had like Eckstein, me, like all these dudes lined up. Jimmy Rollins, like lined up. Hey, mom, I got 2 minutes. Someone else is going to use. I'll call you back in 3 minutes.
You guys are ridiculous.
Dude, literally. So we'd have to hang. It'd be like, you have 10 seconds. And you were like, okay, I'll call you back in 3 minutes. Someone else is going to be their turn. Hang up.
You got a stack of yen, and then you're doing
Oh, hell
McDonald's
yeah. That's how you
calls?
keep the stack of yen.
Oh my gosh.
You ever seen a free McDonald's phone call anywhere in the world? Exactly.
I cannot.
That's
I cannot.
awesome.
All right, let's do WBC, okay? USA, they really got clobbered. I watched the whole damn game. That's why I'm not tired right now, but I will be eventually, because what time did the game end last night,
I don't know.
AJ? What time did you go to bed when
I
the
went to
game
bed
ended?
after the second inning. But here's so before we even get into it, two things. First of all, you're tired because daylight savings time is stupid. Time to end it. Let's keep it on the time we're on now. Certain states have it right, so let's keep it. Second of all, MLB. Jonesy, you work for him. Can we not have USA play at 10 Eastern, please? It was like 5 in the morning wherever you are, Jonesy. Barcelona. But,
Yeah.
come on. You want this sport to grow in U.S., but you have them on at 10 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah.
Nobody except Scott Braun apparently is staying up till 10 o'clock or till 2 in the morning, 4-hour game. Like, can we do better? We have to be better than 10 p.m. start. Dude, Fox, put it on Big Fox and then run the Puerto Rico-Venezuela game on FS1 or vice versa. I don't care.
Yeah.
Put the USA game where people can watch it, especially on a Sunday when they have to go to work.
Only thing to that is say, I think that could work, honestly. I mean, you can easily have them at 6 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock or 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Eastern. And also, what to me, what makes total sense though is that you have 2 turf fields, meaning all you got to do is rake the damn infield. I get it. Players want to hit batting practice on the field. These players don't really give a damn about how far they can hit it. You know what I mean? They can get ready in the cages. They obviously might want to get stretching. That's what takes the longest is everybody has to take batting practice on the field. So that's allotted. That's 2 extra hours. That's what makes between a game starting at 1 and then, this game has to start at 7. It should be able to work. It could work in the way of a double header, just like a normal double header where you have just in 30 minutes or an hour in between. But the teams have to be on the field and have to loosen up because they're still in spring training, so they still have to do the normal long tossing and all the wash of spring training because it is it. If I had to give a guess, but dude, it's just like you guys don't watch USC. You guys don't watch anything with the West Coast because you're tired, you sleep. Nobody's stand. I've seen San Diego State basketball games starting at 8:30 Pacific time. Like, damn, nobody watches Hawaii. So it's I understand.
Scott he got money on it probably.
I do.
He's like,
Sometimes, Jonesy, you know why Hawaii is great? Because if you have a bad night, there's still Hawaii to try and double down, right?
Dude,
You're like,
they score.
I lost
They
a few
always
$100
score.
bucks. Well, I'm going to put a few hundred on Hawaii or the over. And then, you go, it was a nothing night. I'm good.
But that's if I
Hawaii
had to
is
guess, that
amazing.
would be what it is, man.
Krause, no way you
it's still spring training.
No way you stayed up, right, to watch that? I mean, I went to
No
bed.
chance. No chance. The kids have off school today, and I had to take my son to the dentist. Terrible dentist scheduling, by the way, on an off day of school. Nobody wants that, but no chance. I mean, they got to be better than that. They got, I don't know. Whoever made those decisions thought zero amount about what was actually happening.
Imagine if it was an epic game, too. It wasn't, okay?
It wasn't
11-5,
an epic game if you're a Mexico fan.
Right, no, it was.
Yeah.
I'm saying, like, if imagine if it was, 9-8 in the 9th, crazy drama, and it's 2:50. I mean, the game actually started moving a little bit because it wasn't close. Like, imagine it's 2:15 in the morning, something crazy happens. I mean, you see it the next day, but
I mean, they grabbed the attention of the East Coast at the beginning, first couple innings, and then it was basically let's target all Mexico. And they did.
It was a home game for them too.
If you go on time wise and like location and what they go on when it comes to the marketing stuff and the TV crap behind all the scenes. So Mexico City was live, and I woke up and I watched the game, and I played against Mexico in Arizona, same thing in 2013. It was out of the 52,000, it was 51,500 Mexican fans, and I think only fans we had was our family and our travel secretary. That was about it.
that's how it was last night for the most part. I mean,
Team USA would never have a home game unless only tonight and tomorrow. That's the only home games feeling they'll have when they go to Florida.
No, but didn't it feel like a home game when it was in LA, when you guys were playing in LA?
Only because we didn't play against Mexico. We played against Dominican and Puerto Rico. So those are East Coast Spanish guys. So in San Diego, if we played Mexico, well, we would have got drowned out. But the Mexican fans had Team USA's back. They were like, all right, we got y'all this time since y'all knocked us out. So that was our big push is having that much fans in San Diego and California.
So what happened? What happened in this game? What's the problem?
Well, the pitching.
Yeah,
Nick
this
Martinez
is what
went-
we've been talking about
Nick
for a week.
Martinez is a good pitcher, but he went out and got whacked, gave up a 2-run homer.
Joey Meneses,
Meneses did,
they were going MVP.
which was awesome. First, I mean, listen, obviously I'm rooting for USA being from the USA, but, they were going crazy. They put the sombrero on. Like, first, Great Britain wins the home run thing when they put the crown and the purple cape on after the Trace
celebration.
Thompson, the home run celebration. But the Mexico with the sombrero and the whole deal, it's pretty awesome, and then it just pitching. It came down to pitching, and then when Brady Singer came in, kind of somewhat a game, and then he gave up a bunch of runs, and then it was over. I mean, yes, the USA has to hit, but you got to hold somebody at some point. You can't give up 11 runs, and now they're into deep trouble with the run differential and the runs allowed. We'll get into that, but USA needs to let's go.
Can I stop you there? Brady Singer was off. He didn't have it. So why is he still in the game, and why is nobody warming up in the bullpen? Is it
Can we get Mark
everyone's
DeRosa
got to
on and
get
ask
their
him?
work in? We will at some point, but
I don't know.
I'm just curious
Jonesy
what
played, so I always kind of defer these questions to Jonesy. But
Yeah.
Jonesy, is the manager told you have to pitch this guy today, and he has to throw a certain amount of because that's what it seemed. And I think Ken Rosenthal, our guy, kind of went back and forth a little bit with Smoltz, and Smoltz obviously defended DeRosa, which is fine. But Rosenthal's you got to have somebody up and ready. Plus, Singer is not a bullpen guy; he's a starter.
Right.
So it's a completely different animal. So, does that happen, Jonesy, where the teams are told, especially USA? Now, the other teams, I don't think so. But USA seems like DeRosa is told you have to pitch this guy today. And he has to throw this many pitches or else.
I mean, all the American guys are on leashes. That's number one. I've seen Singer throw. If he doesn't start the inning, he's a starter. And I don't know if he's on this. If he's going to start he has to throw his 50 pitches. This is maybe his start day. The game is already, I wouldn't say out of hand, but they're up by a substantial amount at this point. Still get his pitches in because it's still spring training. We're down 7-1. Do we have a chance to win? Yes, but no. I'm just trying to think like a manager in a way, but they for sure have a pitch clock. But my biggest thing was Daniel Barr threw 30-some pitches. He's a closer. He's not. If he's a starter, I get it. Get out and you still have to get your work in. But he's a closer through 30-some pitches. And he's done for the next day. So that was my biggest thing is I don't know whatever teams have told him, but I remember Leland being told he had this, and obviously Leland said, "Fuck all this. Grab this shit. Ain't doing all this, and I'll pitch out the guys how the fuck I want to pitch the guys." But obviously it's a lot more structure with it. So, the guys are on pitch clocks, but I just think that when that game would start to get out of control, it's all right, we just leave him in. Let's not burn a pitcher and just leave him in, let him get his pitches and hopefully get us through 2 innings, maybe.
So you're saying that they gave
Hypothetical?
up on the game?
I wouldn't say they gave up because he's still a damn good pitcher and he went and got outs, but it's no need to burn another arm. I don't think.
True. That's true.
I thought they were going to go bullpen
It
game,
was
but
still
they're
third
not
inning.
allowed
It was
to do
third
that.
inning. It was fourth inning. It was still the fourth inning.
Yeah, it was early.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
thought D-Row is going to look at this tournament and go, okay, my weakness is starting pitching, so I'm going to go bullpen game and utilize my bullpen. But you can't really do that.
Can't really do that with
Because
the way
they
it's
have
formatted.
restrictions,
And
too.
they have a game tomorrow, so the guys can't.
Right.
Guys aren't ready
Yes.
for back to back. When we talked to Edwin Diaz, he's not allowed to pitch back to back. So again, we don't know all the inner workings. That's why Jonesy, kind of as our insider in the WBC, having played in it a few times, knows more about what the teams have told DeRosa and Andy Pettit and these guys on what they can do and how they can use guys. And listen, it was just a bad night for USA, and glad it's over.
Yeah.
The only good thing about the game for the USA, Scotty,
Yeah.
it's over.
Yeah, and it's a quick back to the
Well,
ballpark.
they play tonight at midnight again?
Yeah, exactly. So you'll be up all night again watching them
Oh,
go
you
up
will. You'll
against
tell me
Canada.
all about it in the morning.
Hey, Canada's got O'Neill from the Cardinals. They've got Freddy. Pitching-wise, they
the
could
guy
be
for
in
the
trouble.
Twins, I like the lefty, the second baseman, the prospect for the Twins.
Julian?
Julian.
Edouard
Yeah,
Julian.
that guy looks like he's going to be able to
He's
rate.
good. He's got a good eye,
Yeah.
good bat-to-ball skills.
Yeah.
That's why their offense isn't a pushover, and that's the other problem I had with Team USA is, they put up 5 runs, but some garbage runs at the end of the game. Their offense, again, it's 2 days, but they scored 6 runs against Great Britain. I thought they were going to score 60. then in this game, they didn't look that great, especially against the better pitching from Mexico. And Javier Assad was off the charts. His fastball velocity was way up from what it usually is, and good for him. But if I'm Team USA, the vets looked flat. I remember Bobby Witt comes late into the game and it had an extra base hit. I'm like, they need a little bit of that, because right now it's not about back of the baseball card. Some guys, as you know, can't get themselves going even at the start of the season, let alone basically the start of spring training. So I would maybe tweak things a little bit. I'm not saying you got to just like rehash the lineup.
Trout, Goldschmidt, Arenado, Betts.
I'll give some guys a day off.
Maybe put Witt for McNeil.
Witt for
Tim Anderson
McNeil.
played his ass off, so he don't need to be benched.
I would go Witt for McNeil for a game. Like, I would just get a couple of the young spark plugs in there.
I mean, Rayo
Schwarber back in there.
Schwarber back in there.
If I had to say something, though, it would be that when you're playing international, like international play, you have to like adapt to the international style. It's kind of like I just rewatched that the Redeem team, and how Team USA basketball just kept getting their asses kicked because they just thought that we just bigger, better, stronger. We're just gonna beat y'all ass this way. That don't work like that in international play. They play a completely different style, and even players in MLB that you see might not run this much or might not do this much. In international style, they all do it more. The Venezuelans that you don't see running and playing as aggressive, they're gonna do it now. The Dominicans, they're gonna do it. The Puerto Ricans, they play with a completely aggressive style. The Mexican team, and you have like Team USA just can't just sit there and be the Earl Weaver special. It ain't the 3-run home run ain't just gonna come in this type of style, because the international teams are trying to blow out their arms literally against Team USA. Assad, I'm telling you, his arm's gonna be hurting today because he's sitting at 95 with heavy sink, and that's not him normally, but on this stage, that's gonna be him. So Team USA, they're gonna have to understand that we have to be very dynamic. Mookie, Trout are some of the most dynamic baseball players. They have to get back to being that dynamic. Get on base, you got to go. Ain't no hanging on.
Yeah.
You got to get on base, true. But once you get on, you can't hang around, because you see with Team Mexico, they not hanging around. Britain, Canada game, there was so many stolen bases. Like guys are making things happen, and that's how they do on international stage. So Team USA is gonna have to understand that too. It's like, we are just athletic and fun loving. Do it. Be that way. Be dynamic. That's what got you paid, so be dynamic.
I love that. I think no other example of that. How many times have you guys watched Ronald Acuna go first to home in a 9-1 game for the Braves? And he did it last night in like the 4th inning on, I think Salvi got it was his 4th hit. It was his second double to left center, and Acuna scored from first. There's a lot of times guys aren't running that hard in that situation, and he was getting it. It was just to extend the lead. It wasn't even to put him up.
Kratzy, who makes the Venezuela jerseys, by the way? We got to find out, because they apparently don't put buttons on them. Because like every pitcher, who was the guy for Venezuela? He came off the field and his shirt was undone, and Altuve's running, his shirt's coming undone. Did you see that? The
Uvada,
the lefty that was throwing cheese.
Yeah.
He struck out somebody for the Dominican, and I mean, his shirt looked like Hulk Hogan. His shirt's ripped off.
It was all the way down here. I mean,
it's like your jacket you have. I mean, he's off the field, his shirt. He's like, beating his chest. Like that's the thing. Like Jonesy said, USA doesn't do that.
What, doesn't rip their shirts off?
No. Also, but they don't play like that. They're not used to playing. We're used to playing our politically correct, in lack of a better word, let's not make anybody mad, not show any emotion type of baseball. Dude, you watch these awesome Puerto Rico, Venezuela, Dominican games. I mean, they're punching guys out. They're screaming and yelling at the guy. But then they go up and shake their hand like, hey, it's cool. Right? But that's how they play. And we don't do that as Americans. We play our normal baseball. Even in Mexico, dude, they're hitting homers. Joey Meneses threw his bat like off the roof at Chase Field. And it was awesome.
And Joey
Meneses would never do that during the season.
No,
exactly. He's pretty kind of reserved as it is, or at least when we've seen him last year, he popped off in the big leagues. But You didn't see any of that from him. So this was different. Also, you had Rosarena. One of you in the text group last night showed Rosarena like going for the
and Will
fist bump
Smith gave him
with
the
Will Smith. He's like,
Will Smith gave him
Will Smith's like, screw you. You're kicking our ass right now.
No, that
Which
was in
I
the
like
first
that.
at bat, though.
Oh, that was first at
First
bat?
at bat of the game, he walked up and went like this, and Will Smith put his hands down, and then he tried again, and Will Smith was like,
Yeah.
and just stood there like this, and said he like nodded at him, like Yachty and
I kind
Brandon
of
Phillips.
like that.
I kind of like it too. I thought
Yeah.
it was
Me
great.
too.
But at the same time, like, you know, you watch the other games, they're enemies, but they're like frenemies, right? They're because both teams are doing it. So
Yeah,
nobody
there's
gets
a
offended.
respect. There's a
Nobody
respect
gets offended,
level.
which I'm all for. Like, show the emotion, get pissed, get happy. But there's a respect where both teams are doing it, and they're not doing it to show them up. They're doing it to get the fans excited. And
And
it's awesome.
It's fun to watch. So let's move
fun.
to the Miami portion of the WBC. Venezuela shutting down the Dominican Republic. I mean, they held them to 1 run. And then they had a big day against Puerto Rico. Pablo Lopez pitching in familiar territory, too. I know he's on the Twins now, but 4 2/3, 1 run in his home digs of the past. Salvi with a 3-run jack. Anthony Santander with a 3-run homer. He had a big game. So Team Venezuela, Kratzy, you work every freaking day on this show. Who was talking about him? I said Team Venezuela. I think they were like plus 1,200 or something to win the tournament. And I was like, that, I'm not saying they're going to win. I was like, that is way too steep for them. I said those exact words. That is a good ball club. They look together. They've got a chip on their shoulder because they haven't played that well in the past in this tournament. They look like one of the teams to beat.
Absolutely. And they have a lot of experience in this tournament. I mean, I think Jonesy kind of hit on it. Like, how do you have to play when you play in these international games? And you have guys that have played a lot at premier positions in this tournament. And I think a lot of guys, Andres Jimenez has really stepped up. Salvi, a guy that had an incredible game last night, has got tons of experience. And you saw what happened when he came out of the game. Not anything against Omar, but you know, he had the flow going. He had Pablo Lopez in there dealing, but Salvi comes out, and all of a sudden, Puerto Rico starts coming back, clawing back, and they had a shot at tying the game. Shoot, they had 1st and 3rd, nobody out in the 8th, and they didn't score. So I think the 1,200, you're right, is a little steep. I mean, I hope you jumped in on that 1,200 because it's probably going down today if they're making new odds for you, Scotty. But I think the biggest thing too, Santander is absolutely a force as a switch hitter in that lineup right now.
Oh man,
You like that game?
I'll tell you
That
what,
was
I'll
your favorite
watch
game, right?
the Dominican Venezuela game. The stand. It's like when Chinese Taipei Jonesy was playing, right? The people are like, I love to see the people going crazy. Like even like U.S. Mexico, right? The USA fans, granted, they were getting killed sitting on their hands. The Mexican fans from the first pitch, from the jump, they kept showing the guy in the Lucha Libre mask, right, with the cape on. I mean, he's going crazy. Like that's what it's supposed to be. That's what baseball, I feel like needs more. Like it's hard, I know, on a daily basis, but. You turned on the Venezuela-Puerto Rico game was 9-1. The fans were still going crazy for Puerto Rico, and they were getting their asses kicked. They come back, and you're like, oh, they got a shot here because there's still energy. Whereas in America, we'd be like, oh, we're down 9-1, time to leave.
Screw it. Yeah, let me get home early. Well, that's the best part in my mind of the WBC, and we talked about this a little bit last week, Jonesy, is, I mean, watch the games in Asia, too. I'll sit with someone who's not even a baseball fan, and I believe it was Chinese Taipei getting smacked around by Cuba, and that was going to be the end of their tournament. They knew at that point, even though all the teams, and we'll get into that too, were 2-2, and it was kind of a messy tiebreaker scenario. They were doing the same chant like for 4 hours. And the cheerleaders never stop. It looks like they're all going to need hip replacements. The male and female cheerleaders, left, right. And they kept going back to them. They're all standing. They're all cheering. It's awesome. It's a vibe in every ballpark for this. And I think that's what shows off the international game so well.
that's the best part about it. And again, some people want to say it's annoying. You guys are losing. Shut up. That's called pride. Simple as that. And they show extreme amount of pride. I remember we were beating Japan. I mean, us versus Japan was such a good game. It was, the nonstop Japanese fans the entire game. It fed us too. And then when we played Puerto Rico, we was just kicking their ass, like 6-7-0, and their fans did not stop. And it just shows. It's just like, hey, it's like players. We know y'all down, and we got it. We can see. But we here for y'all until the game is over with. And once it's over with, it's over with. But they there the entire time, and that's as a player. If you see the person behind you in the stands that paid all that hard-earned money just leaving, you like, man, well, man, screw you, man. But if you see him just sitting there, like, hey, even eighth inning, like, come on, man, we got this. It pumps you up, it juices you up, it gives you an extra gear. So I don't know. I wish America did that, but I just know as soon as any game that America's down in, I know last night they were gone. I had friends at the game. They was like, yeah, it's about fifth inning, all Team USA, all 200 of them, they left. So
So I had a friend fly over to the game in Tokyo today. It was Korea and China, and she was texting my wife, and she's like, "This is so boring." She's like, "It's 18-2. It's the fourth inning. China's on their fifth pitcher. How do you guys sit through this?" And I was like, "Well, you picked the wrong game to go to."
Yeah, most games are not
Yeah.
like
No,
that.
most games, especially over there. I'm like, stay for the next round, and when they play, Japan plays Cuba or Japan plays
Ooh.
Italy, Cuba plays Korea, I think. Whoever, I forget who advanced. I don't know Australia
Australia advanced,
to play Cuba,
Yeah.
right?
Cuba,
And
Netherlands.
No, Netherlands didn't advance.
Netherlands
Italy
in
plays
advance.
Italy plays
Cuba and Italy.
Japan, and Australia plays Cuba.
Yes, sorry.
So
right.
stay for those
Netherlands
games
got
if you want
knocked.
to see a good time.
Yes.
Right.
Agreed. By the way, the updated the futures. So it was 900 to 1,000 range. So 9-1, 10-1 ish for Team Venezuela, Kratzy, before the tournament started. Now they're at 4-1. They're third favorite to win the tournament, ahead of the DR actually right now. So it's Japan 1, USA 2, Venezuela 3, DR 4, and then it's a big drop off after that. Hey, let's talk about the Dominican Republic team and that Miami pool right now with Freddie Peralta, pitcher of the Milwaukee Brewers, going to join us throughout the season on Foul Territory and joining us live right now. Freddie, how you doing? Great to talk to you. Have you been watching the World Baseball Classic?
I'm doing good, man. Yeah, I've been watching it, of course.
Your thoughts?
Yeah.
Because
Why aren't you playing? First of all, why aren't you playing? And two, do you miss not playing? Because you have to.
Oh man, believe me, it's been so hard for me, like watching the games on the TV. But it is what it is. There's nothing that I can do. Just support the guys watching it, and I enjoying it. They should play in a little bit. They should start the game, and let's see what I can do for watch a little bit of the today game.
Nice.
wear
How
the-
you
you-
feeling? Oh,
Oh, no, go ahead, Jonesy.
I was gonna say, how you feeling, big fella? After great 2021, you had some health issues in 2022. You're an athlete. Things happen. How you feeling now, though? Ready going for 2023?
I'm feeling great. Most important for me, it was like how I gonna recover after the issues that I had last year, and it's been really good. I've been recovering well, and so I'm excited to see what's gonna happen in this 2023 season. But most important to me, like I said, it's healthy, and I've been feeling great so far.
Freddie P, ¿cómo está?
Oh, good man. How about you? Good to see you.
Tú sabes, ¿qué es esto? Barba. What's up with the beard, man?
With the what?
Your barba. Your beard.
Well,
¿Qué es
I-
esto?
it's growing, man. I'm getting old. It's not
No,
20,
no,
21 anymore.
No, you're always 21 in my heart.
I'm 26 now, man. Growing. I like how I look like that. So I have to keep it.
Does everybody like it? Todo persona
Yes.
te gusta?
Yes, yeah, they like, and most of the guys like my hair. I cannot cut it because they get mad with me if I do something with my hair.
wait, why? Your hair. So if you color it, who doesn't want you to dye your hair?
Look. No, because they know me because I always have long hair since I was in the minors with the team, and one time in 2020 before COVID I cut it, and there's no one that were happy about it. They all get mad with me, and I'm not gonna cut it again because I know what's gonna happen if I do it.
Hey, Freddie, you were known as Fastball Freddie, right? When you first came up because you threw like 90% fastballs. Can we take that nickname away from you now? Because you're throwing a lot of sliders and curveballs and a bunch of junk now.
He needs a
You're
new
like a
nickname.
junk baller now.
But what's the nickname?
I don't know.
You know what? I like the nickname, but I knew that in some point it's gonna change. It's gonna happen. This game is about adjustments, and I don't know that more than everyone. It's about adjustment, and I cannot stay with fastball all the time. And now I've been making some little adjustments, and now I have the slider, the changeup, the curveball, and all that. I had it before, but not as good as now. And it's I had to change. It's how it
That's because
is.
nobody could hit your fastball, so you just reared back and just threw it. Like nobody could hit it. You're like invisible.
And
Here it
there's two
comes.
versions. There were two versions.
I know,
of
but
it.
nobody could hit it.
I know. Now he's full menu.
Yeah,
Fred.
but
Yeah,
hitters
full
make
menu,
adjustments,
Fred.
man.
Full menu.
You know how it is.
Hey,
Hitters make adjustments.
yeah,
Yeah.
you damn right. Hey, Freddie, your first base coach, QB, that's my best friend. So he wanted to tell me, he said, tell him, you got to tell the story about how you made your major league debut on Mother's Day and how it was your mom's first time being able to see you play.
Really, he told you that. What a guy, man.
Yeah.
So
I
okay,
dig, man.
so it was awesome, man. Like it's hard to believe it. So I remember that I was in AAA. It was the first second month of the season, early, and my mom and dad they never see me before playing in the majors or even in the minors too. So I wanted them to be like in some point watching me playing, and my agent Jasser he did a great job. He brought them like a day before. I remember it was Friday. They arrived Friday uh, at Colorado Springs, and I was supposed to pitch on Saturday afternoon. So we were having lunch in a restaurant, and I was excited to them to see me pitching that night. And as soon as I get to the park, like 3 p.m., I was there, thinking about them because I knew that it's gonna be the first time they're gonna watch me playing. And like the game was supposed to be like a 6-10, something like that. And I was getting ready like 5 something, and I remember Sweetie the manager came and he said, "Hey man, you're not gonna pitch tonight." And I was worried about like I wasn't thinking about that I was probably going up or something. The team was in Colorado playing, so we were like an hour driving. Uh, and he said, "You're gonna pitch in the big leagues tomorrow," and I couldn't believe it. It was crazy. Uh, the more excited moment in my life. And I remember that I get to the stadium. There's some people waiting for me over there, like how many tickets you need, and I was like, I couldn't believe it. They let my father get in there. Uh, Next day, I was in the clubhouse. I couldn't believe it, and then we went to the hotel. Next day was a Mother's Day, and I even didn't know. I get into the clubhouse. I see everything like pink, all the jerseys and all that stuff, and I was like, "Please, Mother's Day! Oh my God, this is crazy!" And there's some of the guys that they let me wear some clicks, like pink clicks and all that, and I remember it was crazy. I was so nervous before the first pitch, and then everything started from there. Like it was crazy for me.
Your mom have your
It was the
jersey?
more exciting moment, and happy about it.
Your mom have your jersey? Did you give her your jersey?
Yes, she were wearing. I don't know how. Good question. I don't know how she find that. I don't know if somebody gave it to her. This is my sixth season, and I haven't asked that. I gotta ask her like how she get that. And I see my dad too wearing a jersey. Now that you mentioned that, it came to my mind like how they wear a jersey if they didn't have a jersey of the Brewers.
Yeah,
So good question.
yeah.
Speaking of speaking of buying things, comprar. ¿Qué primero la vaina para contrato para ti? What's the first thing you bought when you got your contract?
Uh Remember it was during after I signed my contract, then the COVID came. So uh but the first thing that I bought it was Range Rover SBR. It was a car
Malo tuya.
uh, that I because I never had a car before. I had just renting and like that, and I had a Camaro, and then I was like I deserve something, and I went to the dealer and I got that car for me because before I bought my mom house and all that, they were comfortable already, so I don't have to worry about all that stuff, and I have my own house too. So that's what I did with my contract because before that I had some the important things I did before the contract.
Hey, on the contract, because we're actually going to talk to someone from your agency later, the COO, Chris Corris. He's joining us next. I remember when you were signing the extension with the Brewers, which has a few years left if they pick up the options, which, duh, they should. What was the thought process like for you? Because right now it's extension season. That's what we call it, right? Corbin Carroll signed a deal. Keibert Ruiz signed a big deal with the Nationals. This happens every year around this time. And I think it was around this time for you a few years back. So
Yeah.
what was the balance like for you between, holy shit, this is a lot of money, and I'm really good. Should I wait and play it year to year?
No, man. For me, since the moment that they offered me the extension and they let me know that something was going on, I knew that I that it was that was the moment for me to to take care of my family and all that because I came from a family. I came from the bottom, so it was a lot of money from me, and I was thinking just about my family, not even to me, my family, and the future and all that. And you know, for me, I just let them know, they weren't happy about it. The company weren't happy about it, but I was trying my best. Like, hey, please let me do this because I know that you can do better for me, but I'm just thinking about my future, family future, and all that right now. I don't know what can happen to me, and because we never know. But right now, people may think that is a terrible contract, but for me, I feel comfortable with it, and I only have this season and the next one, so forget to the stage to the oceans, and then we can see what's gonna happen next. But for me, I was happy about it. I don't know, they weren't comfortable with, but at the end of the day we got a deal done.
Dude, forget that. As long as you're comfortable, like get your first one, get your first contract. You're young enough to where you're going to get another one, right? So
Yeah,
get your
yeah.
first one. Now, every young player needs to listen to what you just said. Like just because you're agent, and we're going to get to talk to Chris here in a little bit, but the
hmm
agent will say, "Yeah, we want you to get more." Yeah, but if they offer you a contract that sets you and your family up for life, and you're still young, take it. Like
Yeah,
I mean, as long as you're comfortable with it as yourself, right?
yeah,
So good on you for taking that and getting your family set up for the rest of their life. So good for
yeah.
you.
And I understand the point of the agency because they know what they're doing. They knew what I how I can uh, they knew what can happen next. And right now it looks like I said, there's some other contracts that they probably bigger than mine. But by that time I was happy about it, and I feel good about it too. I'm comfortable. I'm enjoying the game every day, and I feel good about it because I know what I did. I knew I did it because I wanted to do it.
Hey, I was told this a long time ago. Do not turn away your first fortune. So you're smart. You can set yourself up. People don't understand that where you come from, where this amount of money takes care of so many different things. So salute to you, brother. Hey, question:
Thanks.
the Corbin Burns situation with arbitration. How has that been around the clubhouse? How has he been around the clubhouse? I know he's a professional, but it's still annoying. So how has he been, and who walks around and saying they're the best pitchers on the Brewers? Or,
Uh what I can say about it. He's a professional guy, like you say. Everything is normal. Like, he looks normal in the clubhouse. I know that he's gonna do whatever he needs to do for the team, for his career. At the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. Have a great career, have win a World Series, and I know that he's gonna do his best for that. And but other than that, I don't think that I don't know what happens in there. I haven't checked. I don't try to look for it. But I know one point that I can say to you is that guy is always like playing with the heart, competing out there, and he always tries to do the best. Uh, he likes to keep the teammates like close to him. And if we need something, so in some point, we just need to get close to him and ask him if we need to know something because that's what he does too. So if he needs to know something, he asks. And he's a great guy. I know that that little problem that happens, I don't know, with the with him, uh, is not gonna affect us as a team. So I know that he's gonna do the best for the team, and and we're here for that, for play good, for have fun every day, and just enjoy the game and do our best all the time.
Freddie P, dos preguntas.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Spanish, in Spanish.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm
Tú sabes,
surprised, man.
necesito más practicar, tú sabes. Tú eres mi hijo, mi niño.
Yep.
Primera pregunta. ¿Qué es esto, Eddie Alvarez, que patinar? ¿Es it patinar? Patinar?
Yeah, you're right.
¿Qué es esto? What's up with the rollerblading with Eddie Alvarez? Did you like it?
Yeah, you know what? You know how's Council, man. Council is a great guy, a great manager, and he always likes to keep like, the clubhouse like with the good vibes. So sometimes, during the spring meetings, he likes to brought like somebody. He likes the players to meet or to pick somebody that we want to meet, and that guy, I didn't know that. I think most of the guys didn't know, have no idea that he, how you say that in English, patinar?
Rollerblading.
Okay, that he does that. And at some point, he just say like, "Hey, we have a surprise for you guys." And 3, 2, 1, he just came into the clubhouse. He started doing all that around. I was scared, man. I saw him like turning on those corners like crazy, and I was, God, what's gonna happen here? And we were having fun. We all like loved that moment, and he just told us like a little history about his life and all that. But it was funny, man. It was kind of fun. I know that you were able to watch that on Twitter or in social media, and it was awesome moment. It's part of the spring training too. Like have fun and meet the new guys.
Sí. Otra pregunta.
Yep.
Let's talk about the other pitchers, okay? We got Corbin Burns, Woody,
Yep.
Freddie P, Hauser, and tu papá, Wade
And who?
Miley. Tu papá,
Yeah.
tu padre.
He's the
Hey.
funniest guy ever, man. That I.
Tú sabes. Hey,
Okay.
¿quién mejor? Who's the best?
But talking about like who's the best as a what? As a teammate or what?
Who's the best
The
pitcher?
The best pitcher. Tú sabes.
For me, man, it's a hard question, brother. It's a hard question. Hopefully that you don't put me in problem with this. So for me, man, being honest, I cannot lie to you. Best for me, the best, because I enjoy watching him since we were in the minors. Is Big Woody. So Woodruff for me is, I don't know. It's different. Like I enjoy to watch him playing and pitching on the mound. He's a different animal. He's
Hey,
the
always
best.
say yourself, Freddie. You always say yourself, dude. You always
No,
vote for
no,
yourself.
man,
You
I
always
know.
say yourself.
I don't want to say that. I don't like. So I know that I know what I can do and all that, but man, for me
Bergie,
Woody is
hey,
he's
Bergie's
awesome.
got a Cy Young too. He's got a trophy that says he was the best.
No,
So, I mean,
no.
He might be
Okay.
a little bit
You
like,
see-
hey,
you see
wait a
what I
minute,
say
wait
that
a
I don't want to
minute
be
here.
in problem. You see that you're gonna put me in problem with that question.
That's why you
That's the
say
problem,
yourself. That's why you say me. I'm Freddie P. Full menu
Freddie P.
Freddie.
man.
Freddie P.
God.
Who are you most scared of to pitch against, though? Who are you? If
No
you're
scared. Okay. Wait. No scared.
no. You. If you have to pitch against Woody, you have to pitch
Oh.
against Burnsy hitting. That's why I think Big Woo's gonna hit a home run off you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that you all know that. You see what happens in 2018 in the National League Championship against Kershaw. You see that, right? What happens?
Tú sabes.
He hit a homer, man, and look what kind of game. It was unbelievable. So we were talking about that the other day. It was crazy, and he has a nice swing, great swing.
Hey, I was wondering, when Miley over there, have you sat in on any of his cow purchases? He sits over there on online and watches all the what they call them when they try everybody purchasing cows. I don't even know what the terminology. It's so foreign to me.
The
Auction.
what? Sorry.
When you buy auction, it's like an
He's
auction,
auctioning,
right?
He's on
yeah.
a cattle auction site
Yes.
when he's
Oh,
shown in the clubhouse.
That's how you say it. Yeah, he sits
Kratzy,
on a cattle auction
how do you say
site.
cow in Spanish? Cow.
Puede comprar carne con Way Miley tú sabes, a la televisor.
No quiero comprar, comprar todo vacas. Todo vacas. ¿Ok? Compra de todo
Con Way
vacas.
Miley.
Sí.
We, like the question is if I have to go with him or what?
No, but do you see him online? Like you see him when
Oh
you be
no, I
sitting
did.
at all the time. He's always on his phone online on auctioning for
I did. Oh,
cows.
look at that! I didn't know that about him. But you know what?
He
I'm
don't care
gonna
about
ask him
baseball.
because he always on me. He always like trying to get me with something. So always. So I gonna. That's good. That's good for me that you told me that because I didn't know about that. Now I'm gonna be on him trying to check all that and make him mad with me because he
Hey,
always
good
on me,
carne.
man.
Good carne. Make you some sancocho, man. Habichuela. You can make your carne.
Oh, how you
Oh, ya
know
tú
that?
sabes. I mean, I played with Dominicans my whole life, man.
I know. Nice, bro. Nice. No, it's awesome, man. I'm for sure that I know that you've been because you've been. You had a Nelson Cruz as a teammate, right? And I team
Oh
Vladdy
yeah.
too.
Oh yeah. I had Vladdy as when I was
So
young, so he come in every day, big old suitcases full of
yeah, I
food.
know for
Oh
sure,
yeah. I mean, he's been good
for
friends with
sure,
Poppy,
man. I
so
heard some
oh
history
yeah.
about it.
We've all had really good Latin food. I know that.
Yeah, awesome.
Hey, Freddie, so two things to finish. One, how is Kratch's Spanish? Like, what's the grade for him? Because he says he's working on it because we're going to do a lot of interviews where he's going to do translating.
No, he's good, man. I can understand him 100%, and I know that he's gonna do a great job because when I met him and like how many years ago? 4, 5, 4 years ago.
No, 4 years ago. 4 years ago.
Yeah, 4 years ago, he was trying by that time. He was trying, and I could understand him. So I bet you that if he's putting more emphasis on that, he's gonna be better.
And lastly, did we come up with a new nickname for you? Like, I agree. I don't think you should be. It was cool to be Fastball Freddy, but full menu Freddy. Can we sell
Kitchen
you on
sink.
that?
Kitchen
Because it's
sink,
like, yo,
Freddy.
now I've got. What do you want it to be, Jonesy?
Kitchen sink, Freddy.
Kitchen
Oh,
sink
nice
Freddy.
done.
I'm just trying to do the alliteration where we get the F and the F. Fastball Freddy was cool. So can we get
Really?
like another F there? Full menu,
Yeah.
or you got anything else? Or you like that one?
No, I like that one
Let-
because now he's throwing curveballs, changeups, sliders, right?
That's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
like Freddy 2.0.
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. So for me, I have no problem with that because I understand the point. I get the point that there's no Fastball Freddy anymore. So if the fans like, we can let's move from there. Let's take it.
I love it.
I
Let's
like
make
it.
it a
I
thing.
love it,
Full
yeah.
menu Freddy. Hey, we're on every day, so we'll push it for you, okay?
Yeah.
We're starting the campaign.
Sorry.
We're starting the campaign. We're on live every
Let-
day, so we'll tell
yeah.
everyone.
Yeah,
He's full menu Freddy now. Don't call him Fastball Freddy. Look at his secondary stuff.
I agree with you. Let's do it.
I love it. All right, Freddie, this was awesome. We're excited to have you on throughout the season. Show off your vibrant personality. You're fun as can be in this game. So thanks for joining us, and we look forward to the next one. All right.
Thank you, guys. All right. Have a good day.
You
Hey,
too.
Next time, put your hair down though. Pull the.
You wanna see the
Yeah, I
locks?
want to see the payload.
Next time.
Payload
Okay,
next
so
time.
I'm gonna do it for sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Have a good one,
Work
Freddie.
it,
We'll
Freddie.
see you soon. That was fun. Hey, we just started a new nickname for Freddie.
I like it.
He bought into it. He's into it.
Dude, he was great.
He is
And
so
I'm
fun.
sorry. You know what's funny is like Kratz played with so many dang teams, Jonesy, that like every guy we bring on was like an ex-teammate of Kratz.
Yeah.
Right? Like they were like, oh, I played with you when I was 20. Kratz, you were 47, but I was 20.
I was always old. I was always old. Every team I played on, I was old. I was drafted. You come in with all the high school kids. You're a college kid. You're old. Go to rookie ball 3 times. Yeah, you're definitely old. I was always the old guy. I played on Team USA in 2010. I was the old guy. Then they brought me back in 19, and then brought me back again for 20. But we ended up getting canceled for COVID. Old guy.
What about now?
No, I'm the young guy. We got Viejo right up there. We old color me gray next to you in the seat.
Talking about his 2002 What was that?
Japan tour,
Japan
baby.
tour. You guys are like,
Man,
yeah, I won a few years ago. He's like, oh, me too, 2002.
Yeah, 21
I
years
graduated college in 2002. AJ, you are so old.
ago. That's fine.
Jonesy's way younger than both of you. Jonesy, what are
Yeah.
you?
37.
37.
I got 10 years on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, baby. I got the title right now. 34.
You look the youngest.
Thank you. Skincare, which is going to be ruined by the sun now. Hey, next guest coming in, and we just heard from his client, who's awesome. Chris Corris, COO of Rep One Sports Agency. There he is. What are you already?
Dude, he's got the
for?
wrong White Sox jersey up there. Right?
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he
Eloy's
does.
one of their guys.
He's got to have a Brzezinski jersey, White Sox.
They
Wasn't even my agent.
They don't rep.
I know, but still, why not? If he's doing our show, he could, fake it for a little bit.
Chris, how you doing?
Hey, AJ, you send me one, and I will sport it the next time I'm on if I get the chance to do that.
Perfect. Although I've met Eloy a bunch, and he's actually a great dude.
He's going to be on at some point this year. We'll have him on too. We just had Freddie on, so Chris, let's actually just start there. It's our first, agent rep coming on here onto the show. What are some of your guys like? I mean, for Freddie, for example, he's great in interviews in Milwaukee, but putting him on more of a national or even international stage on a show like this and showing everyone what Freddie's like, freaking awesome.
Pretty good, right? First off, full menu Freddie, that ain't bad. Scott, I'm on board with it if that's what you're going to go with.
Yes.
So we'll start there. But yeah, you've seen the personality up close and personal. He's as good as it gets. Probably the best smile in baseball, I guess, arguably. What you see is what you get. He's just a joy to be around. And I was just watching him on here, and it drew me back to Denver and seeing him come in when he was named an All-Star and being with his family, and that first look that I got with him, just the sheer joy in his eye for us to see each other and have that first interaction. It's just what you get. He's a passionate guy. He's a family man, young family man, and I'm so excited to continue to watch him progress as a pitcher. If he can stay healthy, and when he's on, he's as good as it gets in baseball.
Hey, Chris, how you doing? Adam Jones, nice to meet you, brother.
You as well. Thanks.
Question: how many guys do you have in the WBC, and is it work as an agent side working with the insurance factor? Obviously, a lot of guys on Team USA we're not able to perform with Team USA because of insurance and other reasons. Have you seen that with the Latin clients opposed to the American clients in the WBC, with terms of the insurance and or the real commitment deep down, honestly?
Yeah, so we are fortunate enough to have we're up to 23 players now in the WBC across 8 different countries, and I think that's a good data point for us to be very proud of. As baseball becomes more of an international game, our firm is certainly proud to be at the forefront or right near it in terms of international representation. Freddie is probably a pretty good example of a guy that really wanted to play in the WBC, but because of team restrictions, which we all completely understand, he had some injury concerns last year. They're a team that relies on their rotation for success, and he's certainly a huge part of that. Even though the guys want to be there, sometimes business has to take a priority. But I think what we see overall right now, I took a look at it yesterday. 7 of the 10 MLB top 100 players are participating. I think it was 40 of the top 100, and I'm sure that number would be significantly higher if not for certain business restrictions. But in terms of participation and the want to be there, there's no doubt that every player that has an opportunity and privilege to don their flag and play for their country, and we've seen it with our guys, certainly wants to be there.
And congrats on that. I'm sure you guys are super busy right now, so we appreciate the time. What do you think your agency and just the game itself should take out of watching the World Baseball Classic? I think we talked about this a lot the last few days. The crowd, the intensity of a tournament like this on an international stage is special. And these guys sometimes are making fun of the American crowd, on a June 10th game with 2 crappy teams. They're like, up, it's 10-2, I'm leaving in the 5th inning. And, you watch a game in Asia and it's like 18-2 this morning and they're freaking out the entire time. So what do you think the game should take out of what we're seeing in WBC ball?
Yeah, well, I mean, first off, I woke up this morning and I was thinking, God, what's a worse tragedy? What happened last night in the USA game, or Top Gun not winning Best Picture at the Academy Awards? That was.
Wait, what won? Wait, hold on, what won?
Because it was Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Okay.
I'm not sure if any of us have seen that flick, but man, Top Gun was good, and I really was pulling for Cruise and that whole crew there. But yeah, I think one thing, I think you guys touched upon it just briefly before. Let's take a step back and be realistic about that energy and that passion and that electricity that we see in these games being able to convert across a full 162. It's just not going to happen, and that's okay. But I think what we can take from it is a couple of things. When Major League Baseball, I'm sure, is thinking about adding viewers to their list, it's really just not about viewership. It's about converting those viewers into fans, and loyal fans at that. So when you watch a product like this and the electricity comes out on the TV, it provides a better product. And I think if you're a casual fan tuning in at any point in the season, you want to watch meaningful baseball. And, on Saturday, you could watch Mike Trout, Mookie Betts, one of our guys, Rafael Devers, a bunch of superstars play meaningful baseball in March. And unfortunately, the lack of parity with some of the teams right now in Major League Baseball, that casual fan, that new fan that tunes in, and you want to convert to that loyal follower, that loyal fan of the game. In certain markets, you're not going to find that. So I think we need to make sure that baseball continues to progress in terms of the parity that we see on the field on a consistent basis. And we want a lot more meaningful baseball being played later on in the season, so that when that casual fan tunes in and catches a game, they're going to be hooked, or they're going to be intrigued, or they're going to want to come back. And that, to me, is the main thing that I've taken from the product that we're seeing in the WBC. Again, being realistic that, we're not going to see it across 162, but that the more meaningful baseball being played throughout the season is just going to create more loyal fandom. And that's what we want. That's how the game progresses. That's how it gets better and bigger and more a part of the ecosphere that we exist in.
Obviously, the new rules are going to take effect, and they have taken effect. How have you approached your clients, especially the ones that aren't on long-term deals? Once you're on long-term deal, play the game, play out your deal. But how have you approached the younger players in how to play the game a certain way nowadays? Because obviously, if you allow triples, but you're an aggressive center fielder, or do certain things that make you an aggressive player, you can be discredited by the sabermetrics, or by, because everything is about numbers and how they read them. And I think agents are the best scouts, obviously. How are you scouting that and telling your players, like, you might have to make adjustments to doing this, doing that, pitchers, be quicker, because there's a lot of adjustments that have to be made, and especially on the agent side too.
Yeah, I'm simply staying out of their way. I mean, if I knew what to provide them in that capacity, I'd probably be in the dugout or in the front office. But joking aside, I think what we've seen in terms of the arbitration process and the transparency that's starting to come with it, because players are speaking out, it's probably a good thing. That's where I would start. We have to, as an agency, educate our players every step of the way in what that process brings, how their talent and how their performance is analyzed, and how they can position themselves certainly to earn more money through that process. One of the things that I think is great for baseball that we're seeing is a lot more early extensions, bigger money sooner. And we certainly saw that with Corbin Carroll over the weekend. So in terms of our job and our place, in the sport, specifically in our players' lives when it comes to their performance, I think we just need to continue to arm them with the tools and the ammunition to understand how the game is analyzed from a business perspective, and then just stay out of their way. Let them get on the field, let them play, let them be themselves, let them do what got them there. with maybe a few adjustments that they make as they continue to progress their understanding of what the business of baseball is.
You're talking about money. This is Eric Kratz. Nice to meet you.
Hey,
Thanks
Eric.
for coming on.
Nice to meet you.
I love Freddie P, by the way, so I'm glad somebody awesome has signed him. But what I really want to get into, because my career was just about minor league camp invites and, you know, what all that entailed. I want to know, take us into the room, because we know what the end number looks like. What does the end number look like for Devers' contract? What is that in the room time to get to that? Because I'm always like, if this is what they end up getting, where is that, you know, did you come and say, I want $600 million for my guy because he's worth it in this electric market of Boston, and you just got rid of Xander, so let's go. Like, did you ask for a blank check? Because you could have for your guy there. But take us into that situation.
Yeah, first off, your chemistry with Freddie P was off the charts, and you know I talked to Scott about the Latin version of this show early on. I think we found our host already, Scott. Like Eric nailed it. That was really good. But addressing your question, you know, first off, we have a really good team behind us, and that was led in this negotiation by Raf's lead agent, Nelson Montes de Oca. And no, we're not going to come in with something unrealistic. You know, we have a lot of clients. We're going to have to deal with the Boston Red Sox for a very long time and make sure that our relationship stays firm with them and continues to improve with every passing negotiation. And that's really what was done here. You know, I can't necessarily provide too many details of the back and forth, but you know, it's a process that starts very early on, and it does start through arbitration. And some of those casual discussions do happen very early on in the player's career. And we really just go back to the education for us of guiding the player, advising them on what the market means, you know, showing them projections, comparables into what type of player they could grow to be and what that could mean from a dollar sign perspective. And then in terms of the specific negotiation with Raf, I think things really heated up about a year ago. I think Boston got really serious, understanding that this was going to be a centerpiece of their future, the star of that team. You know, we all saw what transpired with Mookie and with Xander. And not to say that Boston had any design of letting Xander go, but I do think that they recognized in its fullest capacity about a year prior to the deal being done that Raf was going to be their guy. And for us as an agency, on the other side of it, you know, a lot of people would say, well, why didn't you just bring him out to free agency? You know, maximize the market. But our job is really to maximize the market in a way that's consistent with the priorities of the player. And sometimes the priority of the player is to stay with that team that brought him through, that team that he's been with, that team that he's won with. And that was certainly the case for Raf. Raf made it an absolute priority to stay in a Boston Red Sox uniform the rest of his career. And we were really hopeful that we could get there. And it turns out that we could in a way that we believe did maximize the outcome. And again, in a way that I think will endear Raf to the fans of Boston. You know, hopefully one day his jersey is retired up there in the rafters, and I think that would be really meaningful to him. So the process was it wasn't easy. You know, like these discussions, they're pretty challenging. You got a lot of smart guys on their side in Boston, but our team pulled together, and just grateful that Raf had the full trust in us to take it all the way through and to push as hard as we did to get the result we did.
So, Chris, you're talking about jerseys and Rafael Devers. Well, you have Quijada, right? Is it a client of yours at Rep 1? Pitches for Venezuela?
Yeah, so I think you're going to reference the jersey untangling, correct?
Yes. Can we get him a deal like for a jersey that'll stay, you know, button, please? It was pretty cool. I mean, when Hulk Hogan ripping his jersey off.
Yeah, how cool is that? And by the way, like how great is it to be around the game of baseball right now? I mean, like the momentum that we're seeing with the offseason, and I think it's now $3.7 billion spent on players in the offseason, eclipsing the previous 3.1 record. You know, to go from that to the positive rule changes and all that positive momentum that's coming from spring training to go into the WBC and to see a different brand of baseball where a guy like Jose is pitching with more passion than I think we've probably ever seen on the mound. I don't know who the pitcher from Italy was the other day, but that was something similar where you just saw it on their sleeve, man. It was so cool to see. So yeah, I don't know if that answers your question, but I just think it's been an amazing couple of days, and we got 12 days left. 12 days left of this thing. I think it's 12 days, and we're going to see a hell of a lot more than that as the tournament goes on.
It's been great. So it's been great for the game. Great to see. But Chris, you're from Toronto, correct?
I am.
So now you live in Venice Beach.
So my wife and I just moved. We moved down to Newport Beach. Venice.
Oh, sorry.
Break. Yeah, we got
You keep getting those big contracts, right? Now you went from Venice to Newport. You're bad, but
moving to a nicer and nicer spot every time.
Yeah. Next thing you know, you'll be like on Catalina. But so my question is, you talked about the movies and Top Gun, right? You have a dog, and his dog's name is Harrison Ford.
It is. Yep.
And what kind of dog?
He's a Rottweiler.
Okay, perfect. Now, so did you go Harrison Ford because of Star Wars, Indiana Jones? Like what was the movie that made you say my dog is going to be Harrison Ford?
Yeah, so truthfully, I'm both a sports nut and a movie nut. Probably revealed myself off the top there with the Academy Awards whining that I just did. But we've got a dog back home, or he's now actually he moved down here with my sister. But we've had him for about 8 years, and he's a husky named Chewbacca, which tells you, I'm kind of a movie nerd. So we went with Harrison Ford, Chewbacca, Harrison Ford, the whole Star Wars thing. So it was a Star Wars themed decision to name our 130-pound, mean-looking Rottweiler, but man, is he soft, Harrison Ford.
I like that. I want to ask some just another broaden question of, not all our followers, listeners are, all solely care about Trout hitting a home run. Some people want to care about getting him a contract. How does one become an agent? What's the formula to become an agent, I should say?
Yeah,
for the aspiring kids.
Yeah, I can only speak from my own experience, and then maybe shed some light on how we look at bringing people into the fold of our agency. My path was Toronto down to California. I was actually doing a joint JD MFA, which is a law degree and a master's in film. I truthfully wanted to be someone that worked in television and film, and the only thing that was going to pull me away from it was a track in sports. If I'm not working in sports, I'm talking about sports 24/7. You probably see on my wall back here, I have a Formula One hat, a whole bunch of other stuff. I follow everything. So when I got out of law school, I had an opportunity to work with a legendary guy in the business named Lee Steinberg. So Lee got me my start, and it was just kind of happenstance. I knew someone that was running his shop. And I came out of law school and got a PhD in this business from one of the best to ever do it. So that's my experience, and then things progressed, and been very fortunate to work with the guys at Rep One now for the past 8 years. Their football practice has been doing it the right way for, the better part of 20 years now. A quarterback heavy group that has had amazing success throughout the years. Ben Roethlisberger, Jared Goff, just to name a few. So I got to learn a lot from them from an agent perspective, and continue to grow our baseball platform off of the success that they had. So that was my path. In terms of what I look for now, I think I definitely a background in baseball. We just brought a young man on who was an international scout for the Blue Jays for a long time. So that type of experience is certainly invaluable. You can't beat it. You don't necessarily have to have a law degree. You don't need to have an MBA. You need to have a knack for the sport, a drive for it, an understanding of what it really entails, because it's not an easy job, guys. This is a 24/7 job, and it takes a long time to build, a portfolio of clients that actually gets you to a place where you can move from Venice Beach to Newport Beach. It just takes a long time. So if you have the gusto you have the drive, you have a desire to be around the sport. And most importantly, you have an appreciation and a respect and admiration for the players that you actually get to work alongside and be a part of their journey. And I really would emphasize that. That's the most important thing. I think a lot of guys get into the business that I'm in for the wrong reasons. But at the core, if you really do respect and appreciate your position in the lives as someone who gets to advise and guide players as they continue to progress in their careers, you combine that with that hard work mentality, and I think you'll do okay.
I love that. Jones, are you applying?
No, but
No? Good.
but I know a lot of people that ask questions about it. Obviously, not everybody's gifted to play, but a lot of people have the brain to be involved in the sport somehow, some way. So, there's always different avenues to be a part of the game of baseball.
Yeah, I'm messing with you, dude. But yeah, no, that's great. It's something people. Hey, I get the questions all the time. For the majority of the crowd that loves the game but has no freaking shot of making it, broadcasting, teams, agencies, you go down the line, they're like, how do I get there? So we'll clip that off and send it. That makes my life easier for the people that call.
You're gonna
and
send
say,
that to Full Sail when we get our interns? You're gonna send that right over to Full Sail?
Down the street. Yes, exactly.
Well, Scott, I'm just wondering at that angle how you have to flex that bicep for 3 straight hours.
Oh my gosh. It is exhausting. That's why I got the baseball with me the whole time. Poor AJ has to deal with
That's why I
got
gotta wear long sleeves. I have to wear long sleeves every day because Scott's over here like, look at my bicep.
Yeah. Scott's he's a shameless promoter, just trying to get a Muscle Farm sponsorship or something.
We have actually it's a Muscle Milk competitor. I won't say it until later this week, but yes, Slim Milk delivery coming in hot. So I'm working hard for AJ. Yeah, we'll get him pumped up. This is only week 3, right?
Yes.
Month 3, AJ is going to be jacked.
I'm going to be here with the shirt off, like Kahada, ripping my shirt off, running around crazy.
Chris, this was awesome. Thank you. We appreciate it. Enjoy the WBC too with all your guys. Good luck to your group.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, really appreciate you having me on, and congratulations to you guys for taking this leap and starting this thing. I think it's really, the format is something that's long overdue. The game needs more of this stuff, and I think based on that, what I've seen in terms of player participation, the players love it. They want to be a part of it. They want to be more transparent. I think they know it's good for the fans and it's good for the game. So congrats to you guys. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. That means a lot. And TikTok loves it, which means that's the young crowd.
Yeah, we want the young people.
No, we've had like 4 or 5 viral clips already on TikTok. We're like a week and a half old.
3 of them are Scott's biceps, but that's okay.
That's not true. Even Kenny Rosenthal's going viral. But Chris, thank you. Thank you. We'll talk soon, all right?
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, that was great.
It's always great to talk to agents and hear how like insider deals come together, and like to hear how the Rafi Devers. And then the best part of that for me, and Jonesy and Kratzy, we kind of hit on this with Freddie. The agent works for the player, right? So the player should have the power. Like I know some agents you talk to or players you talk to are like, well, my agent didn't want me to sign that deal. Well, wait a minute. If that's the deal you want and that's the deal you feel most comfortable with, like Devers said, I want to be in Boston. I don't need to break the bank. I mean, what do you sign? 300
He did
million?
okay.
No, but I'm saying like if he could have maybe held out and gone to free agency for 400 million. To go to a place where he wasn't as comfortable. Like the agent works for the player. And to hear Chris say that was refreshing because, I mean, as players, you guys have heard guys say, well, my agent didn't want me to sign that deal. Well, hold on a second here. Wait a minute. It's your career, your contract.
11 years, $331 million, by the way.
I wanted to ask him about that is because obviously we all hear about these big deals, but we never hear about the guy that the deal was taken off the table. He took too long. He waited. He bet on himself and didn't get the money. You always hear about the big ones that float on the bottom of the screen, but you never hear about the guys that they take it off the table. And that's why I say, and I remember when John Singleton was getting his 5-year 10, and people were like, "Why are you signing that? Why are you signing that?" That dude is from Compton. That's why he's signing it. There's nothing like Freddy 515. He's from Dominican Republic. Do you know that is like $88 million over in Dominican? Okay, he can live like a king over there and set his family up. But again, here in America, some guys are like, "Well, you're disturbing the market. You're disturbing the market. The market ain't gonna be for me when it all said and done, and I ain't got nowhere to eat and I ain't got no food." So, Players, take care of your pocket. Just like Marshawn Lynch said, your chickens.
Especially for pitchers.
Unless you're
too.
Wade Miley, take care of your cows.
Yeah.
Take care of your cows, Wade.
Oh, something's gonna happen at Brewers camp.
Kratzy, I got to ask this because we're on this contract thing. When they come to you with these minor league deals, were you like, hold on, Mr. Agent, I don't know who your agent was, but no, I'm choosing between the Yankees, the Brewers, the Royals, all these teams. You're like, which one do I want to look? Am I going to look best in? Pinstripes with the Yankees, you know?
Yeah, that definitely went into it. The uniform was for sure the reason that this carcass. No, I mean that's a different side of it. I actually want to hit real quick on the whole Freddie P thing, and obviously my Spanish isn't great, but when he said about the company wasn't really normally when you're trying to like translate to company, it's not like I think he was talking about the Players Association was mad at him. I wish we could have asked that of Chris, but because I know he was excited about the contract because of everything that he just said. Like that's the same thing he would have said the day after he signed it. Is like so I think there's some like the Players Association, like Jonesy said, oh well, the market, you got to set the market and all that stuff. I think I don't know. I think there's more that goes into that for different guys, but the whole minor league contract thing, yeah. I went into Google Maps and tried to figure out how far my house was from their AAA stadium and to see if I could make it home on an off day or not.
See, different strokes for different folks. Yeah. I love it.
I mean, only one that I think people were even mad at, or that could be mad about when it comes to extensions was Longoria's. That's the only one I think.
Yeah, but he signed that before he even played in the big league. So how can you be mad at the guy?
Yeah, but he was. But they were kind of holding.
It was like
they were holding him
20
hostage,
or something,
though.
7 for 20 or something like that.
Yeah.
Before he got to the big, and it would escalators, and guys were like, "Well, you're just like the 5th overall pick, like last year. Wait yourself." But then obviously he worked himself into 150 extra. Yeah. But I mean, I never will get mad at somebody for taking care of your family, man. I work with Bat. Take care of your family. Don't call me. Okay. So I know the structure.
No, you're right. And with Longo, I mean, the story was they were like, "Hey, if you take this, we'll call you up."
Yeah,
which you're not supposed to do, but that was part of the story.
Well, Singleton,
they were like, "You like long bus rides?"
Didn't they do the same thing to Singleton? No, they didn't.
No, they called him up.
Yeah, they called him up after he signed.
That's
right?
part of the deal, which is bullshit. But that's part of the deal.
We'll call you up, which is not cool either. But just call him up if you're good enough to call up. It's like the 3-week thing at the beginning of the year.
Chris Bryant.
Yeah, we're not going to call you up for 3 weeks. Yeah. Do another year.
That got a little bit tweaked though in a good way because you get rewarded, and that happened last year. For example, you call a guy up from day one, and if he's top 2 or 3 in Rookie of the Year, then you get a first-round pick out of it. Huge. That's huge incentive. That's a good way to get front offices to stop being lame about that. So
Scott Kingery, I mean, we talk about contracts like Scott Kingery's having a tough time staying in the big leagues. He signed one to get called up. What about
eats caviar?
What about Matt Dominguez from the Astros? He got offered a nice contract, turned it down, went the route that some people would say don't go. Never made it back up.
You're right. Yeah. Jose Tabata, Pittsburgh Pirates. He got like $35 million or something. He was like a 4th outfielder, if that. Eventually, lost it. So
a lot of arroz con pollo, man. A lot of arroz con pollo.
Yeah, a lot of golden.
Get your first one. Get your first one, Jonesy, Kratzy. If you get your first one, get your first one. Right. That's the key, because then you're set, and then the rest is gravy. You're fortunate enough.
I agree. All right, so we have Rowdy Tellez from Team Mexico coming up. That's like our grand finale, which I'm really pumped about.
Is he still? I mean, they were partying late in Arizona last night.
That's why we give him some time, because it's by the time we have him on 12:30, 12:40, it's only 9:30 there, and I'm sure they were enjoying the win over Team USA. So let's just finish up on some World Baseball Classic news. So we didn't get to the pool that had everyone 2-2. That was Pool A. So Cuba and Italy move on, but if you're Taiwan, for example, you don't make it because you allowed too many runs and you're going to have to requalify for the tournament. And the broadcasters didn't even know what the tiebreaker
Dude, that was the worst
The
part.
tournament didn't even know.
That's the worst part.
They waited. They couldn't even celebrate. They had to wait on the scoreboard, but the really smart people on Twitter already knew. They were tweeting about it. Who?
Italy knew.
Italy knew.
Mm-hmm.
Others knew too. This is the final standings in Pool A. Every team, and this is why 5 teams is dumb, because you could have 5 teams at 2-2. Just the way that they put this together, tiebreaker wise, and part of it, I think, at least some that are smart on Twitter that work in media said, okay, they don't want the scores to be run up, so they're going to go by runs allowed versus runs scored, as if that makes any difference. Like you're going to give an A-B away if you're a team, which clearly we didn't see that this morning with the game with China getting walloped by
22-2. They were not running up the score at all.
So my point is, it's not done well when you're getting to the fine details of the game, and that matters because they're like, whatever. I mean, what are the chances we're gonna have 5 teams go 2-2? Oh shit! And now we don't even know how to explain it.
But the problem I have is they knew. Like
So what happened?
I talked to the PR guy for Italy in the 6th inning, and I said, "How do you guys advance when you win?" And he said, "We have to win by 4+ runs." So he knew in the 6th inning what they had to do, right? So thank you, Pat O'Connell. But how does the TV broadcast not explain it and say, because you could build so much drama. Every inning could be like, Italy was up, 6-1, bases loaded, no outs. They're like, man, we got to hold them to 1 run or less to try to get advance. And not one time on the broadcast did they even bring it up. They said, wait till afterwards for the final decision. Well, it's simple math. So how can whoever runs this MLB, WBC, whoever's running this should be in the ear of the broadcaster saying, before the game, these are scenarios.
Yes.
Boom, 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 boom. If this win happens, and then from the 1st inning on, you keep people's attention by saying Italy wins by 4, they get to go on. Oh, no, they're only up 3. They got to figure out a way to score in the 8th inning. Not running up the score. They got to hold them. So to me, that's the bigger thing is like, I don't care what the tiebreaker format is, but at least have your broadcasters know so they can talk about it and tell me, because I'm looking on Twitter going, how do they advance? Who's going to advance? What's happening? So it's bad on MLB or whoever runs the WBC. And I mean, it's not the announcer's fault because they weren't told, but that's just bad.
Maybe they were told. I have no idea. We can interview them. But I know, for example, there was one tweet that said, so this gets complicated, but it's worth it, okay? Kratzy, you're the math guy. I'm just making this up. But so Netherlands had tied it up at 7 in the top of the 9th. Italy would have needed to score 3 more runs in the 9th with 0 or 1 outs, or 4 more with 2 outs. There could have been a crazy scenario where it's bases loaded bottom 9, and Netherlands would intentionally walk the batter to let Italy win so that the number quotient played out. I mean, the fact that I have to also say all of that means we are getting way too deep for most fans to have to pay attention to, where we could just do a run differential. But the fact that that could have been a scenario for someone like me who likes to throw money down on games, that would have been the game inside the game. Like, can you imagine? Someone would have had to go up to them and say, hey, we're now in a scenario where we need to intentionally walk the run in and then we'll advance.
Lose on purpose.
Yes, lose on purpose.
We're going to lose on purpose here.
Which is also means that's a bad tiebreaker format.
How exciting is that, though? Isn't that part of why you are gambling on the game? Like that adrenaline of like, holy cow, what if they do this right here? I mean, it's not the same. You're talking about the Super Bowl and the round of the WBC, but you're talking about like how does I forget what the guy's name was. He slid. He could have scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl, but he slid to stop and not make it in so that his team wouldn't give the ball back to the Eagles to get another shot. Like, obviously, completely different scenarios, completely different stages. But if you're laying that stuff out, like AJ said, if you're laying it out like this is a 6-1, 4-1 game, if they give up 1 more run, because I've seen it in all these travel team tournaments, like it's like you give up 1 run, you're winning like 12-0, and some kid makes an error and you give up 1 run on Sunday, your team's now all of a sudden ranked out of the top 3. You don't advance to the championship play, and you're playing like the mildew game, the dew game on the grass at 7:30 in the morning on field 3.
That's terrible.
Well, they need to clean it up. And also, I don't like that format. It's too complicated. If fans can't understand it, if broadcasters can't understand or explain it, we probably need to make it simpler, which I think could have been done. lastly, shout out to Team Israel picking up a dub. Garrett Stubbs with what are we calling it? FT. You said it in the group chat.
Karma, baby.
Karma. FT Karma. Garrett Stubbs had the big knock for Team Israel. They took down Nicaragua, and they're 1-0. But now they have. You weren't here. What did they call it, Kratzy? Murderers Row? I keep calling it something else.
No, the pool of death.
The pool of death. He's got Venezuela, Puerto Rico, and Dominican Republic. I'm mixing up the order, but those three for a 3-day span, starting today, Monday, Tuesday,
Good
Wednesday.
luck.
Good luck. Hey, if they sneak one dub out, you never know.
Stubbsy wanted to come on. He wanted to come back on. He said, I won't say exactly what he said. He texted me this morning. He's like, FT's got blank barrels. So if you want to catch some barrels, you better come on FT Live. Tell the boys what's going on in your life. We don't even need to talk baseball. But Stubbsy came on after a nice team meeting the night before, came on FT Live, and then he comes out and bangs in two RBIs off of Loizaga, too. Loizaga just absolutely throwing 99 Ched balls, and he went ground rule double.
Well, let's actually talk WBC baseball with one of the big men of the night, Rowdy Tellez, joining us from Arizona. I cannot believe that he looks like this and he's awake, because I have to hope that there was some celebrating going on after that huge win. Rowdy joining us as part of Team Mexico, and they clobbered Team USA. The score 11-5, but it was not close. Rowdy, how you doing? How was your night?
It was good. I forgot I gave Kratzy my word to show up to this, so no promises that I feel too good. But it was that was a crazy experience, getting to beat USA like that, and to be here in Arizona where there was a lot of support from the Mexican country, and it was a great environment to play, and it was something special.
So you found barrels last night, right, Rowdy? A couple of hits, a few RBIs, right? So you found barrels, so that's good start for the foul territory stuff. But like you guys,
I found a lot of lizard skins too, though. So don't worry.
That's okay. Hey, those count too.
Those have some hits in them too, but
that's right. What? So you guys have today? They have today off, Mexico?
Yes.
You guys have today off? Talk about perfect timing, right? I mean, were you part of the crowd that was out till like 3 a.m. in downtown Phoenix after the game? Just Viva Mexico, the whole deal. Did you actually come home and be a good boy?
That's up for debate. I got family here. We were celebrating. I might not have been downtown, but we were celebrating.
Good, well deserved.
You can't just sit at home and do nothing after that.
No. Hey, Rowdy, what's up, baby? Atmosphere. I played in that game, Mexico, United States, 2013. 10 years later, it seemed like it was the same exact atmosphere. Menendez is going deep in first inning, getting it going. So, I know before first pitch, I know the Mexican fans were already rowdy. But
I see what you did there.
After that home run, how did that just open up the floodgates for a nonstop fiesta? I grew up around Mexicans. I know how they party. I know how they turn up for sports. So how was that? Being on the field for that.
Yeah, you down there in San Diego. You grew up in northern Mexico.
You're damn right.
But it was crazy, man. We walked out. You put the red jersey on, and we walked out, and they were going wild. They were going crazy. I was mic'd up. I don't know why they gave the only gringo the mic, but I was mic'd up for the game, and it was crazy. It was like a home game for us. Packed house environment, and then Joey, like you said, started off. Then he hits another one, and we go crazy. The bat flip, and then we just kind of started pouring it on, and I from what I remember, Mexico's always kind of had USA's number in the WBC. So it was just one of those things where we had a little chip on our shoulder and we wanted to go out and play.
What did you guys talk about before the game? Like what is everyone, you guys came off that tough loss to Colombia. What did you guys talk about? Who's the guy that steps up? Take us into that locker room and how are these guys feeling? Is it the coaches? Is it the players? Is it your corny Carhartt hat that you took all the way to Arizona? I'm not sure what that's about, but go ahead.
Here, dude. What are you talking about? First off, we had it was crazy. It was fun. Great clubhouse speech. I sat there and nodded along, didn't know a single word they said, and we went out and had the time of our lives.
So wait. So the meeting was in Spanish.
Yeah, I told him, and our post game was in Spanish. I told him. He looked at me. He was like, "I'll do it for English after." There's a couple of us that only speak English, and I was like, "No, dude, in Spanish." And he went through the whole thing. They hyped it up. All I knew was like there was a couple words in there like tequila and fiesta, and I was like, "Dude, we're gonna drink and party. This is gonna be sick." All right, I'm in on this.
I love it.
That's good. Hey, how was Joey Meneses with the bat toss? Did that almost like land on your helmet? Because you were up next. I mean, you got to watch the Meneses show closely, and he's pretty reserved from what I've seen. I mean, he was in the minor leagues for forever, and then last September he had a huge little finish for the Washington Nationals, but he was pretty quiet. He's gotten a little louder since then.
Yeah, he's a really nice dude. He talks, but he is quiet. The bat flip took a funky hop off the turf, but I didn't care. That was such an electric moment to be a part of. I mean, I've only played in one playoff series in my career, and that by far kind of blew it out of the water. Watching him do what he did, he really put us on the map and really just kept us going and just really set the tone. And we went out and then we just started banging away everybody from top to bottom. Great defense, great pitching. You know, Sandoval came out and started a great game and really shut it down. And then we played from there. We just had fun. You know, it was for us. It was for Mexico. It was for a country that's just very prideful for their sports, very prideful for their people. So it was a really special moment to be a part of.
Hey, the reason you didn't hit a home run last night is because that sombrero isn't going to fit on your head?
Yeah. Just because you went to college, you think you're smart shit, fucker, doesn't mean you can talk about my fat ass head, because that shit that you got is huge.
you know, hey, it takes one to know one. The difference is
I've never seen a guy not be able to wear a two-piece mask because that shit doesn't stretch far enough. So, hey, you want to keep talking, let it go. I'll come out.
Hey, when I used to go for pop-ups, I'd throw my helmet and my mask off, and the helmet, if I didn't find it in time, some kids would be coming by throwing trash in it. It's so big. It's like a trash can. You know how it is, sitting on deck with your big helmet. Hey, who came up with the sombrero celebration, though? Seriously.
We have a clubby. His name's Flacco. I don't know his real name. Don't know what he does outside of being the clubby. But I think he was like Vicente Padilla's assistant and like a couple other Mexican guys' assistants when they played. But he came in with like these 5 sombreros, and I was like, dang, these are cool. And he came up to me and he like handed it to me, and I put it on, and he looked at me and he goes, walked away. And I said, all right, dude, this is going to be sick. This doesn't fit, but we'll get it going.
So he gave you one?
Well, we were trying them on. So I wanted to try one on, and he like gave it to me, and I put it on, and it like sits like, you know, them little like, look like Speedy Gonzalez, that little teen-ass hat on his head. And he was like, yeah, you're good. Give me the thumbs up. That was like our universal like good shit and move forward.
Hey, Rowdy, was there any shit talking going on with Mexico and Team USA? I mean, the starting lineup's like pretty good at baseball for Team USA. And we did catch one moment where Arozarena goes up to Will Smith like, yo, what up, dude? And
it's like kind of like this, right?
It's
You
like
can't
this,
see it, but
right?
I'm like, nah.
He's like, what up, what up? And Arozarena's having like the time of his life, and he's on fire.
still leaving you hanging.
He's just like, what up, what up? And Will Smith's like, nah, fuck that, dude. We're gonna kick your ass, but they didn't. But any shit talking? I mean, whether it was fun or like real shit talking going on, how was it facing a team of like pretty good players?
I mean, that's an all-star team. Those guys are all in the all-star game. Those guys are there every year. They're the best players in the game. But yeah, I don't know what that was about. I really kind of want to give Will the benefit, but I also know he's really quiet and kind of reserved, because like when I walk up to the plate, I always say hello, and he just kind of looks at me and says hi and moves forward. You know, he doesn't talk like Kratz. I never played against AJ, but I heard AJ was like a shit talker, which doesn't surprise me.
Boy, ask Jonesy. Ask Jonesy.
Yeah.
Asshole.
Is he? Good.
Hey, listen, if Randy
Yeah,
Arozarena
man.
walked up to me before that game, I would have done the exact same
Really?
thing. Dude, screw
Yeah.
you, bro. We ain't here to be friends. I'm
Yeah,
here
I
to
asked
take Mexico
AJ
out
for an
behind the
autograph in
woodshed.
spring training one year when he was at the Giants. I was like a little kid, and he said no. He walked by me, and I said,
That's
"Cool,
not
fuck
true. That is not true. That's a damn lie. That's a damn lie.
And I was
That's
like,
a
dude,
damn
that's
lie.
cool.
That's a damn
But
lie,
no,
Rowdy. Now,
there
see,
was
now you're just gonna make me mad. So don't make me go
there
Will
was no
Smith on
shit
you.
talking.
Hey, don't make me the other Will Smith on you.
Yeah. Oh man. Hey, that was a year removed. A couple like last night. Poor
Yeah,
guy.
exactly.
But no, there wasn't really any shit talking. I mean, we kind of just had it in our heads that we were going to go out and play. You know, we had a tough loss to Columbia, tough breaks, but we just went out and played, and we knew that we're a good team. We're super young. It's bad, Kratz. You know how I am. It's bad if I'm a vet on a team. It's not good. There's no way you don't want me being that guy, and so it's pretty cool to be with a group of guys that really don't care about anything but just winning a game. You know, there's nothing to it. They're just representing the country, and we went out there and we had Mexico on the front, and we beat the bricks off USA, and that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
That is
Still
pretty
mad
cool.
about
That's something you'll remember. Something else you'll remember is your boy Danny Jansen. You know, getting him and Alexis married. How is that? Like, were you more nervous for your game yesterday in northern Mexico, or were you more nervous for the fact the first day that DJ is going to ask you to babysit their son?
I don't know. I don't think anybody's gonna let me babysit their kid. I'm gonna be honest.
You're just the fun uncle? Is that what you are? You're just the funkle?
Yeah, I'm like a funkle, like the fat uncle, not fun, fat uncle. So,
Oh,
but like, dude, I'm like the type of dude that like gets a pair of shoes and like doesn't tie the laces because I just slide them on. That's just me. So I don't think anybody wants me trying to change diapers, and honestly, I don't even know what I'm doing out here. But
yeah, but
no,
you married him.
that I did. Did you see my outfit? I had some floods on it. Dude, the tailor messed up my shit. I was mad, but I look good from like the ankles up.
You need to send a picture so that we can put it on next time you're on, because you're a reoccurring guest and you're maybe going to make it on time most of the time. But you need to send a picture so we can put that picture up of the short pants that you had.
Oh, dude, they were like floods, and then because we were in Florida, so I went like no socks in the shoes. I was like trying to be like a Floridian. It was hot as hell. I was sweating, and then I was nervous trying to read. And after I got through fucking up the first time, I was like, all right, I'm good. Like I got this one. That was Jonesy stayed at their house when he was an A-ball.
Yep. I was going to ask you, did you know that story?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I was in that game. I was in that game where you punched him in the chest.
Damn right.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
wait,
like,
what?
dude.
Wait,
Oh,
what?
fastball.
Yeah,
Wait, what?
we
I got to
played
hear
against.
this story. We're gonna need some storytelling.
Yeah.
time.
So Danny J, I get drafted by the Mariners. I go to Appleton, Wisconsin. If you know where that's at, you're
Yep.
a minor leaguer. Um,
It's the
and
white capital of the
lo
world.
lo and behold, pretty much. You say, don't be crabby. What the hell is crabby?
Yeah,
But great people. But no,
salt
he's
and pepper
9 years old.
seasoning up there.
9-year-old kid comes in my room every night, like, hey, Adam, what's up? How was the game? It was a good game, Adam. How you doing? Just bothering the hell out of me. His brother, me and him still talk. He was 16 at the time. I took his room, and then just fast forward years later, he gets drafted. And I kept in contact with his older brother. He gets drafted, um, and he ends up getting called up. And I paid attention to his whole career in the minor leagues, and then he gets called and comes to Baltimore. And I just wanted to repay his parents. So I call his parents and I was like, I want you guys to come stay at my house for the series. And I told him, I was after the game, I was like, you have to come, like, you're coming with me. And the veteran in me just forced it on him. When you're a rookie, you ain't got no choice. And he came to my house and seen his parents and was just like so shocked. And I just wanted to just basically repay it and relive it, as just a tribute. And it's just a good story, that he was paying attention to me and other players, not just myself, but his parents always had players throughout his childhood. So, it was just shows he comes from a really, really good baseball family.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude. The whole family is great people. They take care of everybody. I mean, every year, me and Jana would play together. His parents would come out and visit, take me out to eat, hang out. It was like, they're
Hmm.
family to me. So when they asked me to do their wedding, I got a little emotional. We're super close, drafted together, went through instructs, extended spring training, grinding together. So it was really special to be a part of that. But not just for him and Alexis, but for his whole family. You know, they're like my second family, and they're just great people all together, just great people.
Hey, Rowdy. So you were drafted. You said you were a Giants fan. 30th round draft pick out of high school.
Yeah.
30th round. How the hell did you last till the 30th round? You were all American. You were all this, all that coming out of high school. So how the hell did you last till the 30th round? And then you signed for like $1 million or close to 800,000, I think, out of high school. So like, did you just tell teams I take this number and then they picked and then you were picked, or was there a reason why? Because how could someone that can hit like you last to the 30th round?
I mean, I don't know. Everybody thought I wanted to go to school. I wanted no part of college. Absolutely zero part. Guys, you know, you had to do like the false shit where you're just like, guys, like, how much do you want to take? You want to go to school? I'm like, yeah, I love college. I want to just follow the rules and wear stupid pants and look bad. I was like, that's what I want to do.
So you wanted to be Kratz?
With a metal bat.
You wanted to be Kratz? Is that what you wanted to be?
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly. I wanted to be such a rule follower and just a douche. And so I moved forward and I was like, hey, man, like, let me just keep going. And, but yeah, the first day went by. I was supposed to be taken. We had a bunch of like calls, like second round, supplemental round. You know, like I think the best call was like back end of the first, and they threw out a number, and I was like, if you draft me, like we'll see. Like it's not a bad number. Obviously, I wasn't going to turn down. You know, when you got 1 point something, like I'm not going to turn it down. I just wanted to play, but everybody kind of thought I wanted to go to college, so slipped to the 30th round, and actually my travel ball coach was the guy that drafted me. Took me in the 30th round and just told the Blue Jays, if you pay him, he'll show up and play. So, you know, I did the whole thing, waited till the deadline, and signed and went out to pro ball. And our first rounder didn't sign that year, so we had a little money left over.
That's why we're having you on the show right now, because I was drafted higher than you. 29th round, kid. Wear it.
Yeah, but you're decent at baseball, so it wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, 29th round by the Blue Jays, though. Coming up through the same system, you are an absolute stud. How do you continue what you did last year with the Brewers and push it forward through the rest of the season?
I mean, there was a little fuel to the fire. There was. AJ came into the Giants clubhouse right before the All-Star break and said, hey, guys, if you need a first baseman, I can still play. And I was sitting there staring right at him, about to be like, yo, fucker. I'm like 10 feet behind you. I can hear you.
You should have said something to me. We would have chatted.
I did under my breath, because you were talking to Colton and they were talking shit about like how young guys talk shit. And I was like, dude. I was like,
I was talking to who?
You were talking to Colton and Jace.
Oh, yeah.
Jace.
Yeah, Jace is great. Colton, I mean, teammates of mine, you know, so.
Colton was like, hey, if you wanted a bad veteran, that would have been wearing you out. And I was like, listen here, I'll take any veteran to wear me out. I said, I can talk shit. I can handle being talked shit to. I can handle being made fun of. You know, if I'm going to talk to the veterans and I'm going to wear them out and I'm going to say what I want to say, I got to be able to handle it.
I like it.
So I was like, so if I said something, and you know, if Jonesy was going to freeze my shit or make me change in center field, move my car, lock it, like I had to deal with it. But I wasn't going to stop me. I was going to still do it. Because then it was like, it was fun. You know, like I liked it. It felt comfortable. It felt being like you're part of the team. But, you know, like I know when I cross the line and when I don't, or like when not to. And when those times happen, you know, you take your lumps. There's some times where I did cross the line. I took my lumps and I had to sit there and I had to be embarrassed. I had to shut up. I couldn't say nothing. I couldn't do anything back. And, you know, that's where you learn. But I think it's fun. I really do. I think it keeps a clubhouse loose when you got somebody that's, you know, able to just mess with everybody, friends with everybody. But yeah, man, it's not, you know, we're brothers. It's like fighting with your brothers. It's like messing with your brothers every day until the days of, you know, till the end of the season and you don't have to see them again. You're like, thank God I don't got to deal with these dudes.
So wait, I'm glad what did you hit 33 homers last year?
Yeah,
how many homers you hit last year, Rowdy?
Yeah.
35.
35.
So how many of those were after I talked shit to you?
The other half, I think I had like 17 when you came in, then I think I had 18 after that.
All right, so I get a cut when you go to arbitration. I want a little cut.
Right.
I want a little cut.
I think you got more money than me, so I think I deserve a cut. for making you feel better.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, let's bring in to finish off here for the first time making their debut, Bat Boys Baseball. And I think they're at the WBC at the moment. Bat Boys, what's going on? And say hello to Rowdy Tellez as well. Great to have you guys joining us throughout the season. What's up? Can you hear us?
Yeah, we can hear you all right. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we got you good. You take over for these last couple minutes with Rowdy Tellez. Introduce
That
yourself
one
to the
dude's
world
jacked.
here, too.
I've seen that dude before.
Yeah, we're just down here at the field at Chase Field.
Not the one holding the phone. The other one's
WBC.
jacked.
Saw Rowdy signing a ton of graphs yesterday, taking care of the fans. Good stuff.
Baby Rowdy.
And yeah, we're just happy to be out here. It's incredible.
Rowdy, tell them again. I don't think they heard you.
Yeah. The one dude that's jacked back there, the one that's not holding the phone, I've seen him before.
He's seen you before.
Oh, yeah. Appreciate the support.
Yeah, he's got the big forearms. I don't know what you the other one. But
There it
Teenager
is.
with big forearms.
He's got the size medium like
that's not a good look, Jonesy. Come on. He's a big lubriderm and tissue guy. Come on, dude. Be cool.
Hey, Eric and Liam, get after it. I know you guys can't hear us that well because you're partying on the field, but get a few of your questions in there for Rowdy.
Yeah, so first one we had, foul territory, this is a super cool thing that they've started up here. Just your thoughts on having an open forum to talk about the league. This is something baseball hasn't really had around, but a lot of other leagues have. How are you enjoying it?
No, it's cool. I got to play against Kratz for a while. Played against Jonesy. Grew up watching AJ because he's just been around the game for a long time. But it's really cool to be out here and be able to talk about things we do, the little things, and not always just talk about baseball, but just to have a good time and go back and forth, and don't always have to be so correct with your words. You can say what you want. So this is a fun environment to be in.
Sweet. And then another one we had is obviously they're going to be bringing on guests all season long. Who are you most excited to see on the show next that's in the league right now?
It's in the league?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I talk shit to everybody, so I don't know if anybody's going to be excited to see me. But
I'm excited.
I want to,
AJ's
who I
loving
want to see? I want to talk to Harper more. I like talking to him on first base. Sometimes I call him Bruce just to let him know he ain't like that big of a deal, even though he's one of the best players in baseball. But there's some good minds I want to get into and see where they're at.
Rowdy, you and I would have got along really well, by the way. I'm just letting you know. You and I would have got along really well.
Yeah, I like to push buttons. It's the best.
You and I would have got along really well.
Hey, Jones is
did Rowdy sign an autograph for y'all last night? Because you guys were at the game, right? Did he sign one for you guys?
He did not sign one for us. We're not supposed to ask for autographs with our credentials, but that was going to be my last question. It's one of our favorites to ask guys, but saw you signing a ton yesterday. What's like the craziest item you ever signed? Was there anything weird yesterday?
Yeah, I'm with Team Mexico, so I don't sign for gringos right now, but I'm trying to think. The ones that bother me are like, not bother me, but when like kids hand me their phone cases and they're like, you sign their phone, their parents paid $40 for it, and then they get there's some fat bald first baseman that wants it, that they sign and they're like, Dad's like, you could have got anybody better than that guy, anybody, but you wanted that one, just ruined it. Terrible investment. It's like your ROI on that is not good. But I think I've signed a couple of like people. I'm not cool enough to get it tattooed on them, but I'm worth maybe like the rest of the game and then wash it off at home type of guy.
Signature
That is good.
too is an interesting trend going around.
I don't think we caught you there. Hey, Rowdy, we'll let you go, dude. You crushed it. We'll keep the Bat Boys for one more sec, but thank you.
All
Keep
right,
kicking ass out there, all right?
Oh, thanks for having me. Everybody was great, except Eric. Don't be texting me no bullshit anymore either.
Don't be.
Happy
Hey, hold on. I do got a good story on Jonesy. Jonesy came into Jonesy and Q. Quentin Berry are super tight. Quentin Berry says they're tight. Q thinks he's tight with everybody. Dude, something wrong with that guy. He's like, if you're from San Diego, he thinks you're tight with him. But I think, Jones, did you come in with bat last year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about, the bat meetings. Josie comes in talking about like, any money that can help, anything you do will help. And he goes, some people are struggling. He goes, not me. I'm rich as hell, but people are struggling out there. And I was like, damn, dude, that was like that subtle. I was good for a long time type of comment. Go check the tape. Baseball Reference has got some good numbers up there. There's some like bold numbers up there, a couple of Gold Glove numbers. But I was like, dude, I like this guy. I wish I could have played with him.
I was a fun one to play with. That slipped out. That slipped out. There's a
Yeah,
lot.
that
There's
was
a lot
good.
more wealthy.
But thank y'all for having me. I really appreciate it. It was awesome. I can't wait to be on here more. It's
Yeah,
gonna be some
same
fun
here.
stuff.
Absolutely, Rowdy. It's going to be a fun year with you. Thank you, and go kick some ass. Go take this
Thank you.
team
Thank you. Viva la
to
Mexico.
Miami.
Vami
Yes.
way.
Let's go, baby. All right, Bat Boys. You guys got another couple minutes with us. Give us the word from the ballpark right now, and how was your night?
Last night was really cool. Last night we got to Phoenix. We were in Miami for a couple of games the day before, but the atmosphere here yesterday was incredible. Just got done watching Great Britain take batting practice. Yeah, Liam, you got anything to add?
About what, last night?
Just the experience so far, what it's like down here on the field.
It's incredible. We went like 36 hours without sleeping after flying to Arizona last night from Miami, but it didn't even feel like it because the adrenaline rush in here is so sick.
Did you guys party with Team Mexico? Is that why you haven't slept?
So we haven't slept because we went to what was it, DR Venezuela on Saturday night, and then as soon as the game ended, we went and returned our rental car, and then just sat in the airport for like 5 hours from 12 to 5 a.m. Stayed in the airport and then got on our 7 a.m. flight here to Arizona, and then yesterday we were at the games and stuff. So last night was our first sleep in about 40 some odd hours.
That's that budget traveling right there. My wife we did that one time and she almost killed me. We stayed there. She was like, "Let's get a room." I was like, "It's only 5 hours." It's like, "No, let's get a room." Like she just looked at me the whole time. I'm just so mad. I feel your pain.
Hey, so you guys said you're at Great Britain, right? Great Britain just took batting practice.
Yeah, they just came off the field, and
did you guys design their uniforms? Because they're absolutely terrible. Like, I mean, were you guys like in graphics design school in high school, or like Great Britain just across the chest, like no color, like just Great Britain?
It's funny because when we were walking in, Liam pointed out in the team store they had all these WBC jerseys, and there's like an alternative Great Britain jersey in there that is not the one that they're wearing on the field.
Their red ones are okay.
Yeah,
their red ones are okay, but yeah, everyone's kind of aware of the fact that they do not have the nicest jerseys. Talk to some of the guys about it.
Can you take a picture of the alternate jersey? And I guarantee you that goes viral if you put that up, because everyone thinks that they've got that basic like Times New Roman bullshit on their shirt. Send us the other one at some point too, because everyone thinks that like, I mean, the best interview this week is if we can find the designer of that uniform.
Oh.
The Nike guy, Jonesy, we're Nike people, but who was the Nike person was like, Great Britain. No color, no flag, nothing, just Great Britain. And the letters look kind of wonky because the buttons get messed up, so the letters kind of get off center too.
That's a bad uni.
Oh, it's bad. Hey, guys, enjoy things out there. We're excited to have you on throughout the season, too. As you can tell, Rowdy Tellez loves talking shit. So we'll have you guys on, too, when you've got good Wi-Fi connection and all that. But have fun, get some rest, but not really. Enjoy WBC. We'll talk to you, I think, next week.
Yeah, thanks so much. Can't wait to join next time. Hopefully we're doing it from a computer, not a tiny little phone screen here. Better connect.
That's a guarantee. Yeah, we'll set you up good next time. Thank you, guys. It's Liam and Eric, but that was fun. Yeah, that was not easy with the BP and the music going on.
Dude, they look like they hadn't slept because their hair looked like they hadn't slept.
Well, that's the look.
Yeah, I guess.
That's the look.
Not for you though.
What, me? Well, I put it together a little.
Yours is quad.
Sometimes I don't. You saw me on the weekend.
True.
Yeah. Whew, a lot to digest there. Also, I mean, you want a good interview. Rowdy Tellez.
Dude, I just listened to Rowdy talk junk to Kratz all day long and just sit here and admire it.
You know what? I'll say this, Kratzy, and I'm glad. Like Rowdy Tellez is going to be one of the stars of FT, clearly. Kratzy. So I've interviewed him. Like I had him on when I hosted MLB Now on MLB Network at one point. He came in as a guest analyst. We've had him mic'd up for games, and he's good. He's funny, and everyone always says like, "Yo, Rowdy is one of the guys in the league. Like he's hilarious. He talks shit, all this stuff." And I will say this is the first time I actually really understand it, because like you need Rowdy unfiltered. Otherwise, you're getting like a very PG version of Rowdy, which is no fun.
It is no fun, and he is. I enjoy being around him so much. Like I was texting him the other day, and it's the same thing. Like exactly what he was saying today on air. He was saying, he's texting me just as one of the guys, and we never even played together. It's just through acquaintances that I got to know this guy. But it really is. I think he shines a light on somebody that could really benefit from, not just being so filtered, not being so like he had a career year last year in Milwaukee, and I followed Milwaukee a lot, but I don't know that many people, really knew that was a career year for him. And I think he's primed to have an even better year because of how they're going to use him in the lineup.
Yeah, he had a great year. I mean, he had career high, 35 homers, 89 RBIs, and half of those were because you pissed him off.
We all
You guys broke up. I don't know if you were talking to me or what.
His reaction, because he's like, "Uh-oh, we lost us."
Oh shit!
Yeah, you
Kratzy's
guys
got to take over. You know that.
Uh-oh.
I can hear you guys talk. I don't know where we're at
you
on
can?
the rundown here, but you got it.
Can you hear us?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. All right. So you don't have to see us because we're at the last minute anyway. So let's do this. We're at Slap Hands to finish up. Can we show the worst video from the weekend? One of the worst calls of all time. And what's the conference? Southland Conference? Did I get that right? Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know if we're going to be able to see it. So Kratzy might have to do the play-by-play if we can show it. Oh, no, I think we see. The umpire got suspended because he did not one, but two of the worst strike calls I've ever seen, I would say.
We're back.
Right? Yeah, here we are. Two of the worst strike calls to end the game.
And good on the catcher when we show this to grab the hitter from letting the hitter do something crazy. But
yeah,
this is probably one of the worst calls I've ever seen in my life. But I'll hopefully we can show this video here.
Jonesy, your thoughts? You saw the video.
Yeah, I mean the first one. I mean it's down. Obviously, it's down. The hitter. That reaction was a bit absurd. It's the ninth inning. I understand it. First inning that we're getting. I get it. Ninth inning. A lot riding on it. The next call was just egregious. I'm using a Stephen A. Smith word. Egregious. Come on, you can't hold a grudge. You're an umpire. Your job is to do the game. Don't matter the grudge. That was atrocious. Again, like you said, AJ, for the catcher to come out there in a moment like that, a lot of bad things could happen, and a lot of bad things could happen for this kid's future. So I commend that catcher. And the coaches went over there and did what they had. I'm sure they had their piece, but I commend that catcher for jumping there immediately, because that could have turned many different ways.
But by the way, the only ball I've ever seen close to called like that is to end a game. See Joe Nathan's 300 save. By the way,
I've seen that.
Yeah, great frame.
Slider.
Great frame by the catcher.
Oh
yeah, you were definitely a big framer. You know, your numbers went up on that one. You broke the system.
That's right. That was back when they had. So listen, it was back when they had Quest Tech, right? So before the whole whatever it is, the automated. So excuse me, Marty Foster, I think, was the home plate umpire. He came up to you the next day and goes, on Quest Tech, that was a strike. So I don't know what they're arguing about. And that's the thing. Like they go to these automatic umpires, big curveballs. That was what it was. It was a big curveball. So if it clips the front of the knee, but it's coming straight down and lands on the plate, ha! And you're like, wait a second. But yeah, that's, so good call, Marty Foster.
Helping out your boy. while we have a moment, if the video's running, just run it right in front of our face. So just get a couple other things out of the way here. Oh, there it is. All right, so there's strike 2. That ball bounced. Do you
That's
think
what the umpire got mad about?
that's
when
what I was going to
pointed,
say?
the
He's
point.
pointing to the ground. You think he got pissed off? Not that it should matter. That is like, I don't want to ump anymore. That's what he said. I'm done umpiring. I don't want to hear shit from college players. That's how I'm going out. Like, I don't know how you can ever let a guy, well, maybe that's a little much. But that's a solid suspension, and they should do that in any league.
Yeah, that call's that was personal.
Yeah.
Like, that got
That's
personal,
personal.
and that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
They all make bad
Can't never
calls,
get
but
personal.
personal ones, no. Never get personal.
I agree. So that was shit. Let's do Kratz hats. 2 more things to do here, and then we'll get out of here. Kratz, what's your hat like today? Tell the world.
I actually wore it for, and I didn't get to it, so I guess next time I'll have to pull out another one. We got the Scranton Rail Riders. Scrantonia, whatever you want to call it. Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. I wore it because it wasn't the first one out, but I was looking for it because Rowdy's girlfriend is from Scranton, so want to make sure, get a little shout out to my guy Rowdy. He's probably back in bed. He's not watching anymore. But.
Thunder Mifflin's finest right there. And apparently we have Team Italy minor leaguer, am I getting the name here? Joe Lasora. He's in the Rays system, has some words.
Here's a 1-2 to Bernardino. Got him! You think this doesn't matter to these guys?
That's awesome.
I for the podcast group listening on Apple and Spotify, I encourage you to check out Joe Lasora's celebration after the 6th inning.
Yeah, which was amazing, but it was like the Cajada for Venezuela, but except kept his shirt on.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it goes back to, yes, it matters, but remember we talked about the run differential? That was bases loaded, no outs. So they knew they had to win by 4. He gets out of that, still 6-1, and then we just have a saying, he threw the confetti. He threw the confetti, threw a parade, he did the whole deal. I mean, it's awesome. Like, we need more of that.
Yeah, you do. There you got the Ric Flair woo going on big time right there. Yeah, big time. But that's passion. That's what you want to see. That's what the WBC, I believe, brings is that emotion out of you. Again, you're not going to see that in Major League Baseball until you get to the playoffs. We get that. But if you had a little bit more of that, you want to talk about, everybody's talking about preaching to the young kids. These young kids they like when somebody dunks and scores a touchdown and they start to dance. They like that. In baseball, you hit a home run, they like the bat flips, not just hit on. And again, Aaron Judge is a fantastic player, but he's Tim Duncan of baseball. He hits a home run and that's Tim Duncan. You know what I mean? And it's fantastic. As fantastic it is, fans do like the Acuñas. They like the Tatis Juniors. They love it. They love that flag and that swag and that flair.
Because look at the job that you have, Jonesy. Like, we're watching from the other side. I'm the fan perspective here. I want to see that you're having the time of your freaking life. You know, I don't need you to be all business all the time. Sometimes, sure, you're getting smacked in a regular season game in the middle of the year. You want to just circle the bases like nothing happened. Cool. But like when you hit a big one, you better freaking flip your bat so high in the air like Joey Meneses did, you know, because you live your whole life for this.
On this stage, yes. And I mean, if it's, again, May 25th and he does this, it's going to get 98 in the air hole. But in this stage, I mean, AJ, you're the perfect one. If he does this in the middle of the season, you're going to be right in his face. But during this stage, during this situation, you got to let it ride.
So, Jonesy, I used to always say, you hit a walk-off homer, you hit a big home run, do whatever you want. I don't care. If my guy strikes you out, guess what? He's going to be pumping his fist, and I expect him to. But, like, yeah, now if it's April 25th and you hit a home run and you're up 10 and you do that, we're probably going to have a word or two. But if you do it in a big situation, have the time of your life because you never know when you're going to get to do it again. So go have fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Tim Anderson talking to D-Row, Mark DeRosa, who called him out years back for doing too much with the bat flips, which I think he's taken back since then. And then he goes to him before they start the WBC to Tim. He's like, "Tia, you going to bat flip?" He's like, "Hell yeah, I am." Like, that's good shit. You can evolve. Yeah. You can learn. You know, yes, I like that too. Let other people realize. And D-Row's got a kid. He knows. Like, his kid Brooks. He loves seeing that stuff. All right, let's finish with military base of the day, MacDill Air Force Base in South Tampa, close to where we are.
Yep.
Home to the headquarters for 2 of the U.S. military's Unified Combatant Commands, United States Central Command and U.S. Special Ops Command. We salute you. We appreciate you. I think we went a record 2 hours, 11 minutes, worth every freaking penny. Thank you to everyone that joined us. Rowdy Tellez, you stole the freaking show. And Kratzy and AJ, you're betting with me tonight. I'm 3 for 4. I got to stay hot. You're telling my picks, okay?
I'm in.
Got it?
I'm in, as long as it's your money.
Fine, it's my money because I just won like $600 this weekend. So I'll give you each 50 and we'll bet tonight.
I'll take the
This
over
was
in the
awesome.
Great Britain game.
You're over in there, exactly.
I don't know who they're playing, but I'll take the over.
Perfect. That's what we're doing. FT Live every single weekday. Jonesy, have fun in Barca. Have a time.
Will
What
do.
is it, 7 p.m.?
Yeah, 6.
6? Happy
Yeah.
hour. See you Tuesday.
Yes, sir. All right.